me you guys were doing this.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
there we
recording.
go.
Welcome. Hey, welcome to Things That Make You Go Hmm.
Right.
And today we've got a special guest with us. Go ahead. My name's Alex. Introduce yourself.
My name is Walter. I'm the special guest today.
Thank you for joining us today, Walter. And Malcolm will be with us shortly. And today we're talking about the U.S. elections and America in general. And we'll start chatting about change. Our friend Walter here used to live in California, born and raised, correct?
Born and raised in California, yes.
And now you reside in Arizona.
Yes.
And you had mentioned that, being an American, we talked about change and a lot of people want change, but no one really can agree on what it should look like. Is that fair?
I think right now in America that we are running politics on a lot of words, more so than substance. And this is from both sides.
Oh, for
And
sure. For sure.
one of
For
the
sure.
phrases that I think we can all agree on is that we do want things to be better, no matter where you are. You want things
Yes,
to be
yes,
better.
yes, yes.
The, but
And
we
so,
can't come to an agreement on what better means.
well, let's pause right there because that's to me, that's a perfect segue, things to be better. Okay. And
Okay.
so, and yes, both sides are a lot of talk, a lot of air. That's what politicians do, right? That's to me, that's nothing new, right? This is what they do. Um, but again, from an outsider looking in, and it just not even an outsider, just me as a human being, all right? For example, one of the candidates I was a fan of when he had a TV show. Okay. I was actually a fan, being an entrepreneur and what have you. I was a fan. Um, yeah, there's some antics in that show that I didn't care for, but literally, I was a fan. And up until he started running, actually before he got into politics, he had, I mean, there's some rumble about him running, but he had a lot of these little battles, like with Rosie O'Donnell and some other people that really, for me, left a bad taste in my mouth in terms of like just him being a petty person and just being like, it's just kind of like, what are you doing? I felt, as an outsider. Now,
Right,
when he
right,
started running for politics and challenged Obama to his birthright, I've kind of felt like, fuck you personally. Because excuse my, see, no, seriously, none of you niggers were born in America to fucking begin with. Okay?
right,
None of you.
right,
Nobody was. Not nobody is actually
right.
from that land. We're all transplanted, period. Like let's get real here. And so that left a bad taste in my mouth too. And then, and then he gets in eventually beating Hillary Clinton. Which personally, I kind of hoped we'd get our first female president personally, only because I think men have had a long enough run at it, and I was interested to see what a female would do in that position personally. But here's where again, Trump got in, but I found his rhetoric and just um, the divisiveness got worse. And so for me, when you talk about change, that would be a nice change because I hate the skies falling crap that keeps going on and just the evil and hating people eat dogs and immigrants are evil and kill and murder and all this like
Well,
what?
well, I hear you. I hear you, and I think that there are people who feel that yes, that is a stance to take on it. And if I'm going to like sit back and try to play referee from an American standpoint, as opposed to saying
Yes.
what my personal feelings are, it's
Yeah.
more along the lines of we have been told that the media is not honest. And
Well,
we are,
yeah, no, of course, yeah, but honestly, Walter, though,
yes.
I don't know how old you are, but I'm 56 years old. And
Mm,
and and I've always known the media's not honest because I
right.
don't know if a lot of people realize this. The media is run by the government. So guess what? The government controls what they say and can't say. So of course, they're
See
honest
out here.
but they also have their
Well,
preferences and they have their alliances, of course, as well. What I mean? They also have their political interests. My thing is, I guess I'm a big fan of peace. Okay.
mm,
And I've been a big fan of peace. And anyway,
okay.
I'm a peace whore. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And so anything doesn't look and sound and feel like peace,
Yes.
I detest like I detest, period. It's just the way I roll.
Well,
And And I don't find Trump very peaceful and hasn't been very peaceful. And that's what I can't personally stand about the person. And
But
and
if you
and
look at even when you go back to when Jasmine Crockett and was this MTG got into that little spat about, the beach body thing and the
yeah,
way
yeah,
it's it became combative. So
yeah.
rather than pointing fingers as to who started it and how long the abuses have been going on, it's just the overall discourse itself is no longer cooperative. And that we no longer even expect that in our political discourse here in America anymore. And I think once you get there, it doesn't matter if you're red, blue, purple, green, or whatever. It's if you've already gotten to the point where your opponent is someone you should be fighting, as opposed to someone you should be compromising with and finding ways to work with, the
Hmm.
system is already broken.
Yeah, and see, this is a thing that I kind of part of me also understands that they're all really one gang. Okay, their end game, as far as I'm concerned, is to make themselves wealthy. Okay, and so they have this way of making people feel like there's actually options and choices when really they're all the same evil. One party just represents themselves differently than the other, but really they're all playing the same sandbox. Put it that way, as far as I'm concerned. Um, and again,
Yeah.
I don't know, you mentioned you were doing some stuff overseas and things like that. And you might
Mhm.
have heard, you might have seen, America does not have a good name. I don't care how superpower they are. They do not have a good track record. They do not have, like, people are laughing at America all over the world
Well,
right now.
I, okay. I don't disagree that there are people all over the world, including
Yeah.
in America, who are laughing at
Yeah.
America.
Yes.
And
Yes.
but there are people on both sides of the aisle laughing for different reasons.
No, no, for
So
sure, for sure. But you know what? The politics of it has become like a gong
mm,
show. It's just become like yeah, and for me, it goes back to George
mm.
Bush Jr. with 9/11. Okay? Weapons of mass destruction. None were found. Hundreds of thousands of people were killed, yet, and Saddam Hussein was hung for war crimes. Where the fuck is George Bush now? That nigger should have, excuse my, but seriously, nigger is an asshole in this case, not nigger is a brother. Okay.
I understand. It's a word that I
Okay.
normally wouldn't use, but
Well,
yes,
well, well,
I
well,
get
no,
you.
that's a word. That's a word I should love to use, just because I take that power away from what it's intended
No, no,
for. You know what I
no,
mean? I'll use,
yeah, I get
I
you.
use it as a
I'm
brother,
not
but in
freaking
this
out
case, I'm
over
using
it.
it as an
Yeah,
asshole. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
define that. He's living
So
off the high hog
my
when he kills
issue,
hundreds of thousands of his own people
yes,
over a lie. And
historically,
and
you and
and
I
that's been
both
and that's been
know
like the
that
American ammo.
governments around the world aren't necessarily going to be the most forthcoming with truth for
But
whatever
America's
reason.
the but America's the worst.
No, well, no, I
Oh,
don't
oh,
want to say
oh, oh.
that. I'm saying
Well,
America is
well,
not
well,
above
let me say that
the
they're the
BS that they
loudest.
say that
They're
the
the
rest of the world
loudest.
does. I
They're
will
the
say that.
loudest. They're the loudest.
Well,
Okay. Well, think
I
about
will
think
say
about
that our megaphone is in high def.
how many other countries have invaded other countries over their resources
Well, okay.
Other than France
Well,
and
that,
England.
well, yeah,
So
and
here's the thing.
Spain.
I don't want to try to defend all of American diplomatic policy and history in this in that I will say this though. America is not the first country to use its military might to go get things that weren't theirs before they started shooting at people.
No, for sure, for
They're not
sure.
the
The,
first
no,
one.
the Roman Empire's been doing for
Well,
ever since the
yeah, I mean
beginning of time.
there have been
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
several,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
America
right now
America thinks they
we're
have that
like
eagle from the Romans. No,
right now we're feeling pretty good. We got the dream team, pretty much put together. So
listen,
we're making our world tour,
listen,
dropping dubs
Walter,
wherever we can. And it's like,
Walter, Walter. We just
yeah,
met, but when
yeah,
those nukes start flying, just know you
yeah.
always have a home here.
You know what? I appreciate it, but
There
the
you
thing,
go.
but I'll tell you, I'm pretty sure if I stay here, I'm seeing the nukes leave. Okay, more so than I see them come back. So I hate to say that. I personally understand that peace would be
Yes,
something that would be wonderful if
yes,
I believe that
yes.
Americans wanted it. I don't think that most Americans, and I hate to say this about my fellow Americans, and I love
Yeah,
you all dearly. Don't come knocking on my fucking door. But I do not believe that they are humble enough when it comes to the topic of war to believe that it's a threat to them. So when they go
Absolutely.
to war in the last 50, 60, 80 years, it's like, yes, people have come back scarred with things that they won't talk about, they don't want to think about, and they are swimming in bottles trying to forget about. Don't get it twisted. The problem is they still have to live back here with everybody else who don't know the reality of what they went through. And these people are still saying, "Hey, let's go do this over there. Let's," and we don't care. And so we use this, unfortunately now, very violent rhetoric. And the funny thing is, the person who you were talking about, you used to support it sometime, brought that up, that, war hawks here in America will use very violent rhetoric. But my issue, and I think the issue of a lot of people who don't support the Republican candidate currently, is that in just our world, our politics, from the stuff we can see, we have seen his rhetoric intentionally bring violence. And I don't care if it is someone at the southern border who speaks Spanish. I don't care if they're from Haiti. I don't care if they're eating your cats and dogs. You chose violence to even have the discussion. You couldn't even start with just regular,
Yeah.
can I get some information? Do you need help? No, let's bring violence. And so
Exactly.
when I
Exactly.
hear that, it hurts me.
Walter, not only does it hurt you, and to be honest with you, brother, it hurts me too, because and to a point where I almost hate myself, and I'll explain why. Because I just finished telling you how I'm about peace, but also
Mhm.
I'm like that hatefulness is pushing to the point where I almost hate and detest anyone that supports him. And
And,
that's the
and and
bad
that's
part.
where
And
and
that's the
that's
bad
where it's
part for on
gotten.
me. You know what I mean? Because like I even have this little golf game that usually, I play on my phone and just my downtime. And there's there's probably 80% Americans. There's people from all over the world, but there's probably like
Mhm.
80% Americans on this game.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, there's a lot of Trump teams,
Yeah.
mega this, mega that, and I
Right.
almost mute the communication when I'm playing against one of them. That's bad, bro. And then so every now and then I make a mistake and not pay attention and start talking to them and actually having a nice banter with them. I'm like, fuck, I'm not supposed to
Yeah,
like you.
you fell into the trap.
I'm not supposed to like you.
The mega sand trap. No,
You know what I'm
here's the
saying?
thing. I don't think that just because people support that candidate, that makes them a bad person. I
No,
don't.
no, for sure. No, it shouldn't. But see,
What I do think is that people get
that's how
there in a
much
way.
that's how much disdain I have for this human being that
Yeah.
automatically you're like off my list if you're on his train because I do not ride on that hate train. I do
Right.
not.
Well, my thing is, how can you ignore the hate? I understand that some people are saying,
Oh, I can
well,
ignore it. I can ignore it. Trust me.
no,
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 no.
I'm talking
Well,
about his fans. His
oh
fans
yeah, yeah.
ignoring the
Oh, for
fact that
sure.
he
That's
is
oh, yeah,
fueling
yeah, yeah,
all of
yeah.
this hate.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. And
And
never mind,
so,
even never mind that alone. Oh, dude, this is like. And what about September 6th or January 6th? January 6th. What
yeah,
about
yeah.
that? What about that?
Okay, so remember, you have an idea that Americans are all tuned in to what's going on, and I can tell you that for the
No,
vast
no, no, no,
majority of
no, no,
Americans,
no, no, Walter. Let's get that straight. No, no, that I know firsthand. Not all
okay, all
Americans.
right.
Okay, I can tell. No, you're no, 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 no.
So,
Listen to me, brother. Did you ever watch
yeah,
Jimmy Kimmel? Did you ever watch
yeah,
Jimmy
yeah,
Kimmel?
yeah,
Okay, Jimmy Kimmel
yeah, yeah.
exposes a lot of Americans for not knowing
And
shit on the
and you
street.
would be shocked how many people who are
I,
in these battleground states whose votes are very important, who have no idea what's
bro,
on the ballot.
no, no, yeah, no. You know what? I'm not shocked, but yet I am shocked. You know what I
So
mean?
yeah, and
Like
I
us
don't want
Canadians,
to,
like you can walk down your
but
street right now in Arizona and ask who's running, and you probably find a handful of people that still don't know who's in the. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this: in America, in the public educational system, we don't have to learn about government. We don't have to learn about
Wow,
our rights. We don't
wow,
have to, a
wow.
lot of the things that, you would think that we should know, as we don't have to learn how to balance a checkbook, or
That
handle
makes
our
sense.
finances,
That
or
makes
do
sense.
any
That makes
sort of
sense.
long-term planning. None of that is given to us in our primary and secondary education.
That makes
So
sense.
what we're doing is we're dropping all of these people into a world that has been taught to them by Marvel and Disney. And then we're asking them to say, go make these world decisions. And I understand the only thing you know about the Middle East is something that you saw in the movie Aladdin. And it's like, and then we use the word terrorist, and then we stopped having the conversation.
You know what? You know, Walter? Fuck both these people. I want you for president.
So, So I was saying, like, I mean, if we just actually sat and just looked at what our issues were, we're talking about the
Yeah.
southern border. The southern
Yeah.
border, we could meet people at the southern border with blankets and lawyers, and then turn away people, and then
Yeah.
and then
In a,
house
c- in
people.
a civil way.
And
Like,
then I'm saying, I was like, that doesn't mean I want open borders. It's just like
no,
I don't think
no,
anybody wants open borders. It's
no,
like,
no. But we're treating
but
them like humans.
but when the right starts saying that just because you don't want to kill everyone and lock them in prison, it makes you some sort of extremist that doesn't care about, the safety
Yeah,
of your country. It's
that's
like that
stupid.
that's not fair. That's not fair. You kill the conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
like how the right cared about George Floyd's life, like how the right cared about all the black men that have lost their lives to police violence.
So here's the
Like
thing.
like 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 how the right cares about gun control
So
and
I
all
try
the
to
kids that are getting killed in
refrain
schools.
from going into my personal feelings about any of the specifics because as soon as I do that, they're
No,
they're
no,
making the assumption
fuck you,
oh, you
Walter,
have a
fuck you,
problem
Walter,
because
Walter, you're American, you're not Canadian, okay? Let it out.
so no, see, the thing is, in America, we are free and we understand freedom, and we
Are you
understand
really
freedom
free? Are
comes
you
in
really
calibers,
free?
right?
Because of calibers,
So
yeah,
I
fair
don't
enough.
need any more freedom today. That's all I'm saying. It's like I'm full of freedom. So all I'm saying is that right now
Okay, fair
we
enough,
have
fair
some
enough.
some some beautiful options we have as a country. We have
Yeah,
an economic capability to do certain things
yeah, yeah.
other countries don't have.
For
All
sure,
I
for
was
sure.
trying to explain to people when I was talking about this, when you looked at historically, at least in our
Yeah,
minds, the
yeah,
Democratic Party was worried about making sure that the average American had a better life. And the
yes,
Republican Party was saying, hey, the way we're going to make sure the average person has a better life is that we're going to make sure that the employers take care of them. So we're going to take care of the employers
yes,
and give them the ability to take care of those people. But over the history, we have allowed the laws to change to insulate the employers from any accountability for the well-being of their employees. So now you have someone on the Republican Party who's saying that, yes, I don't want to tax tips. It sounds beautiful. And for a stopgap, it is a great fix if your money is made in tips. But if you're an
yeah.
employer and you have the opportunity to choose how you're going to pay your people, why wouldn't you stop paying them salaries and just switch their jobs to completely and totally commission and just give them tips? It's like now it's tax free. And if you're getting paid and you're paying 24 to 30% in your taxes, and now your employer can just change the way that you get paid, and now he can go ahead and cut your prices down another 10, 15% on his side. You make more money, he makes more money. How does that help the government? If you want to actually help people, put the onus back on the employer to actually pay the employee. Let them go ahead and keep that 20% markup that they already had and force them to give it to the employees. But either way, you're still covering the fact that you are allowing the customer the freedom to choose whether or not your staff gets paid. It's like, and then remember, right after he makes
No, yeah,
the
no, for
claim,
sure. And there's some industries that are that way. But here's where
yeah,
though too, and I don't know if you know this, but in Canada, and I'm assuming the US is the same way. As an employer, when you
yeah,
have employees, right?
mm,
You as an employer, for every deduct, like in Canada, we have CPP and EI, which is like employment insurance for when
yes,
you're laid off or fired
yeah,
or quit or whatever.
uh-huh.
And
We
for
have
seasonal
similar
workers
things
as
here.
well, or
Yeah,
CPP for old age security. Now,
mm,
for every dollar that you put in as an
mm,
employer, the employer has to
mm.
match that.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's the same in the US. Now, as a person who's employed people myself, I've had
mm,
everyone as a subcontractor for that reason. For example, for one of those reasons. Okay.
hmm,
Just because I'm not in business, I'm in business to market and help make people money and make a living for me and my family, and of course provide some services. Right.
okay.
I'm not in business to do paperwork for the government. Okay. And up
Yeah,
until, a government employee comes to, my office or my home office and says, yo, brother Alex, what can I do? Like, can I file some papers for you? What can I do? Like, how can I help support your business so I can tax your ass? Fuck off. Okay. 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 All right. I'll pay my taxes and everything I buy and use and choose to buy, and
yes,
whatever, my vino or whatever.
okay,
I'll pay my taxes that way. I don't
yeah.
mind. because that's what I'm choosing to do.
So
But,
okay,
but but for you to take it at source and go spend almost $900 billion on war, on military spending.
okay, okay. Well, hold on. Are you begrudging us the freedom for us to spread freedom?
Sorry, the freedom for you to what?
Are you begrudging our freedom to spread freedom?
Your freedom to spread freedom. No, I'm all
Yes.
about freedom, brother.
So yes. So that's the way we export our freedom. It's like
By tax?
we do it with military. And so we teach freedom and we give a graduate level class in freedom to the rest of the world. And you're welcome
Really?
for
Really?
that.
Really? Is it is
Hey,
that
you
that's
don't
what
have to
happened?
thank me. You don't have to thank me. It's okay. It's all
No,
right.
no, 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 no. I don't have to thank you. And I won't thank you. But
Okay, all right,
I'll get the
but I know on the
Afghanis.
inside you
I'll get
want
the
to.
Afghanis. I'll get the Iraqis to come thank you. Okay. I'll get Libya to come thank you. I'll get Africa to come thank you. Okay.
There's a long line. There's a long line
Yeah.
of
I'll
folks
get
probably
Cuba. I'll get
wanting to thank
Haiti. I'll
America.
get
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So, so, but the issue is
The
that
world
we
police.
do
The world
have
police. Come on.
well, at least over here in the West, we do say things like
No, no.
leader of the free world.
Who polices the world police?
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, all
yeah.
right. So we're bouncing all over the place here. So I mean,
No,
if
no,
we're
we're on
just
track. We're on track,
no, no,
brother.
no. If we're
We're on
just shooting it
track.
around, I'll say it like this. Right now, if you're really paying attention internationally, and if you are in the sound of our voice and you're in America, one of the things that Americans aren't talking about is the new alliance of BRICS that is popping up with Brazil, Russia, India, China, South America. It's not South Africa, but South Africa. They've already started an alliance, and if you start just doing the numbers, you're looking at least two superpowers, and then they now have oil money from Saudi Arabia. You also have the fact that you also have at least two nuclear powers already in that group,
Yep,
and they are
yep,
feeling very, very special about
yep,
what's going on in Israel right now.
yep.
So, yeah, there are things to be worried about, and right now, neither one of the candidates for the U.S. and president.
Why is there things to be worried about? Hold on. Why?
Well,
Why is there things to be worried about?
there are
Explain to me,
so many
brother.
ways to answer that, and I don't know what
Just
I don't want to mess up you guys' thing by saying
No,
things I'm not
answer it any way
supposed
you
to.
want, man.
no, no, you can't mess up this. This is
So,
impossible to mess up.
so
It's
No,
a
no,
it,
discussion.
it's
It's a freedom of speech.
well,
yes.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Son.
So, 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 so here's the reality of it in what's going on over in that part of the
Wait.
world.
Hold that thought, Walter, before you answer
Yeah.
that. Neither Malcolm or I own any guns. Okay, so you ain't got to worry.
Oh,
Go on.
well, I'm American. So let me finish this sentence. And unfortunately, that should be all need be said. Yeah,
Got
fill in the
these
blanks.
three.
Okay. Or they're not blanks. So,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
so anyway, the issue that we have as Americans that we're looking at what's going on over in the Middle East. And remember, we look at the Israel state as the state for the Jewish people, the only state that they have. And some people in America want to say that, hey, don't the Jewish people deserve a state of their own? Now, whether you agree or disagree, that is an argument that some people believe is a valid argument. Whatever their justification may be, they believe that's something that should happen. And the existence of some of the areas, groups around them who feel that the Jews should be eradicated from the earth pose an existential threat to their existence. And therefore, to defend themselves, they should be given every right to go ahead and take those people off the board before they are taken off the board.
Well,
That's
again,
one stance. The other stance is we were here. Somebody came and dropped you off here. They didn't ask us how we felt about it. They didn't ask me we wanted you here. And you kept expanding your influence beyond what was agreed upon. And even though some of us have tried to kick you out, it says you are still here. Now,
you're talking about the
whether or not
Israels? You're talking about Israel?
I'm talking about Israel and Palestine.
Palestine, yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
And so I am not saying I know enough about
So
exactly what's going on there.
you're here,
Yeah.
you're saying you're here in the sense of Israel being here and Israel's expanding.
Yes.
I agree with you. I
inside the
agree with
area in
you.
which
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Palestine
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so
Oh,
now
oh,
Israel might feel that they have justification.
but I think you're missing a little bit of the puzzle here
Oh,
because you have to
please.
go back to the early 40s or 50s
Okay.
when the Hitler and the Germans kicked
Yes.
the Jews out of Germany. That's
Yes.
it, right? And and
Yes.
and
Yes.
and, and then there's and then America, of course, good old peacekeepers, America.
You're welcome. It's like, you know what? Trump's going to send you a bill and you're going to know how much you owe us.
Right,
But go
right,
ahead. Go
right.
ahead.
It's just like the same kind of stuff we stirred up in Afghanistan. We just bounced after 20 years of nothing, a lot of
You know,
spending and killing for nothing. But anyways, back to Israel and Palestine.
yeah.
And so they had this treaty where they gave their buddies in Israel because there's a lot of Israelis that have influence in Washington, right? A lot of
Mm.
Jews that have influence on money in Washington. Let's be honest, is still do to this day. Okay, because both Democrats and Republicans give a lot of money to Israel companies that funnel it back to American campaigns. Do you know that? Did you know that? I think Malcolm and I.
I well, I don't think that's a surprise.
No, okay. So yeah, but it's fact. But again, the problem is, and here's where regarding this whole thing, personally, I don't believe in killing, I believe in peace and all that kind of stuff. But I'm more on the side of the Palestinians. I think their actions and the way they chose to respond to it is wrong. But again, they're frustrated. Like you guys aren't moving, you guys keep taking more and more. So we just need killing off your people so that you guys may
Keep in
listen to
mind,
us.
it's only one. It's a group. It's not
It's
all
a
of
no, it's
Palestine
right.
that's.
And that's a
No, no,
very
you're
good
right.
that's a
You're right. You're
very
right.
good
You're
point,
right.
Malcolm, that I
You're
think a
right.
lot of
You're
people
right.
ignore.
You're right.
And in
Yeah,
America, we especially ignore that in here, and to the point where even on the floor of our Senate, they were saying that there are no innocent Palestinians, or no, and they're
yeah,
basically
right.
equating
Yes.
everyone to that. When you look at even when they were elected, it wasn't like everyone in the area agreed that this is the leader that should be. So let's say, for
Right.
the sake of argument, that we put ourselves as human beings in the position of Palestinians, whoever you are. Okay, so
Mhm.
let's say that you are an American living in Texas, and you're like, they really need to do something about securing this border. Well, when the
Mhm.
people who are south of the border are literally shooting missiles into your area and then walking over and claiming your land and rebuilding on your land, it's like
Right.
you probably would have very strong feelings about what your government should be doing to protect the border. And you
Oh,
might be willing to do some things that aren't exactly polite or gentlemanly in order to get your things back. So,
absolutely.
and to be called a terrorist for trying to get the things that you believe are rightfully yours back,
To protect your house,
it seems like a
basically.
stretch. And when we use the word
It,
terrorist in America, especially since 9/11, we
It's
have
been
killed the,
blanketed for
the
sure.
idea to even hear their side of the story. Forget due
no, no,
process,
no.
forget understanding
Walter,
where they are.
Walter,
Yeah,
let's be honest though, 9/11,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
It's called reverse psychology or reverse, because you know this, like the terrorist was a buzzword, and before that, I can't remember what it was. It was ISIS. ISIS was a buzzword, right?
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
ISIS?
Oh,
ISIS terrorists.
yes,
Like
I
there's always this
remember
buzzword.
that.
right.
There's always this buzzword that you Americans
Yeah.
start on American media to keep
Hey,
us
hey,
all.
I don't know. I'm not going to say
Not
that you
you,
invented these
not you, but
words.
wow, come
But I
on.
will say that
American
we have
media.
weaponized the words at a level that you guys could only imagine. And
This is so
so,
true.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So
so
that you guys
now
can
when we
put
say things
so
like
that you
immigrant here in
so that you
America,
guys so that you guys and
Yes.
your $1 trillion military spending can put those weapons to use.
well, okay.
Okay, so that Dick Cheney and all those boys can make their buck again.
Okay, so that's a let me oversimplify the oversimplification. Okay, so what ends up happening when we end up spending money in military, and we spend far and above what anyone else spends. We spend the majority of that money on American defense contractors, not actually on bullets. So we are basically paying the right wing to get richer every time we do it. But this good thing, because it actually goes towards our GDP, which is a scoreboard that we use to tell our American
Mm,
people how much
No,
we're winning in the economies of the
no,
world.
no, no. It doesn't all actually go towards the GDP because a lot of it goes towards the military bases that you Americans have set up all over the world to police these people. And guess what? So all those people are stationed there year round, 24/7, and they're living there and spending the money there in their GDP.
Yes, but it's still considered a salary to an American employee, which
Who's
does
living
go towards
overseas?
GDP.
Well,
Well, no, I
it's
don't
still
see how if they're
close.
spending the money overseas,
It- that-
or
It's
or
that's a,
or
that's
or
a that's a
or
different
or
number. That's a
or
different
whatever
number.
whatever country America's raping.
That's not the way it works. So, so yes, but yes, we are happy to go ahead and send you more stuff. And so maybe you guys want some more chocolate. Maybe you need some more bottled water that came from your land. But it's like, but we will bottle it for you at just a small price of non-biodegradable plastic that is might be a carcinogen destroying your land and your ability to grow crops. But it's okay. It's like
Yes.
so. I don't have a problem with America's ability to go around the world and try to make money to put out its message of
No,
freedom. I just wish
see, I
that we
don't,
were more
yeah,
honest
I
about
don't,
it.
yeah, see, I don't have a problem. Yeah, I don't have a problem with anyone trying to make money, but yes, honesty about it and also fairness and not evil. And that's my whole problem with America in general, is they're evil and their
Wow.
methods, their
Well,
methods.
I won't say that everyone. Okay, here in America, you have to be honest with yourself. There are a lot of uh, people who are sympathizers to the Israeli point of view who are in positions of power, and they are many times associated with the media company heads. And so for you to think that, people are going to risk their livelihood and their family's livelihood to try to get a political point across, those heroes are few and far between, and they usually don't get into a position where they're allowed to do that kind of damage.
Wait,
So,
wait, 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 wait.
yeah.
Land of the free, right?
Oh, is Kanye your roommate? It's it's just like it's one of those things where freedom has a cost, right?
No,
So
there's no cost of freedom. Freedom's just
yeah,
free.
okay.
There's no, yeah, that's the whole point of freedom. It's free.
No, so I mean, we will let the right wing media say some weird things about Kamala Harris, and we will let the left wing media say some weird things about Donald Trump,
See.
but neither
Let me pause.
one.
Let's pause right there. Let's pause right there.
Yeah,
Let's just
okay,
think about what you just said there. You're not
okay.
wrong, my friend. You're not wrong. Do you have any children? Do you have any children?
Yes, but
How old? Yes, but what do you mean no buts? How old?
military age.
Military age. Okay.
Yes.
I've got two, 21 and an 18-year-old. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I know my kids, I've always talked to them about, being peaceful, respecting people, not lying about people, never telling a lie. What the fuck
Hmm.
are these people doing on national TV to the masses? What the fuck is going on?
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay.
No,
Hold on.
seriously.
Hold
Walter, I'm
on.
about to rip my laptop apart over this thing. Like, seriously.
So let me tell you about a little nuance about American politics that a lot of people don't realize is that it's actually a protected right of the politicians to lie while running for office. It is
No,
a
no.
specifically protected right.
Walter, listen,
It's an
brother, listen.
actual
All
right.
right,
Is that in your?
Yeah.
let's just get this out of the way, okay? First and foremost, I like you, I love you, even though you are American, okay? And you can probably tell I'm not a fan of America, period, right now. I literally want to get off.
I'm sensing that. I'm sensing that.
Yeah. I literally want to get off this continent because of the Republicans, okay?
It's
And here's where I'm so thankful for Malcolm for introducing me to you and bringing you on here because my hope is that you'll other than half the Americans that support the Democrats, which
yeah.
the other half I don't understand, and I feel like I'm in fucking Twilight world right now. Seriously,
So
like Edward Snowden is hiding in Russia for fucking ratting out America for spying on people, and this asshole creates treason and gets people killed on January 6th.
so
And on top of everything else, and he gets to run for office, and he's in 34 felonies. Like what the hell? Like
so
how's he even supposed to travel if he gets in? Like felons can't leave a fucking country.
well, remember,
Mostly.
he is allowed to pardon himself, and if he wins, then he'll be allowed to leave the country.
No. Because again,
Yeah.
from what I understand, you can
Yes.
only pardon yourself for crimes that has been committed while you're in office, not out of
So,
office.
well, they made a slightly different change to the ruling,
Of
and
course they
now
did.
they're
Of
saying
course they
that,
did. Of
that if
course they
it's done
did.
within the axis of your
Go
presidency,
down. Oh my God,
it's
120.
yes.
99.
So
Okay.
he basically, when they reformed the courts, and the courts are more worried about being in line with what he wants rather than actually following the spirit of the law. It's to them, it's more about if we win, then we'll make it right, as
If we
opposed to we'll
win,
follow the
if we
rules.
win, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
for them, winning is everything.
Do you know your kids, my kids, the whole world is watching this?
Hmm. And and you try to explain to people, and they say things like, "Well, Trump has been president before, and it wasn't that bad."
My God. For who?
Did you
And
guys
there's
get to
and but
see?
remember, their news is telling them we had the lowest immigration ever, that we had more money than ever. We had, and the thing is, unfortunately, their
Really?
revisionist history is not putting the things together. They're ignoring the fact that COVID happened under Trump's law.
Exactly, exactly. And what take bleach? Well, I can't remember what even his responses were to that.
No, 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 no. I don't even necessarily even care about whether they were good or they're bad. I'm saying the numbers changed. The immigration numbers changed, the employment numbers changed, the income numbers changed. But
Of
you
course.
gave him credit for everything that happened beforehand, but you gave him no blame for all the stuff that happened afterwards. And yet, all the shit that was still lingering afterwards, you automatically dropped that all on Biden. And it's like that didn't make any sense. And so for me, I am okay if someone wants to vote Trump even today. I might think you're a racist, but I'm American. I think you're free to be racist. Hey, it's like, hey, you be racist, just don't mess with my tacos. It's just like it's fine. But the problem is that Trump has made it so that people who were trying to be Republican have to align with racists. They don't have a choice because he leaned so far into racist rhetoric and the xenophobic, lies.
No, no, you always have a choice. You always have a choice. And here's where a lot of well-to-do Republicans have switched
Hmm,
sides, right? Because of
I
that
agree.
exact rhetoric, right? So
But
you
see, you have
always
to
Some
have
that
a
are
remember,
choice.
afraid,
some of
though.
them have been taught that the people on the left side of the aisle are taking their children and giving them sex changes at school without the parents' permission, and
Come
going
on.
so far that if their
Yeah, yeah,
daughters
listen
get
to me.
pregnant,
Listen
that
to me,
they will
Walter.
kill the
Listen to me,
babies
Walter.
after.
Listen to me, Walter. If
I'm not
anybody,
saying
if
that.
I know, I know,
Go
I know,
ahead.
I know, but you just repeated it. If
Yeah.
anybody is that stupid, should not be on this planet. Okay? If anyone's that stupid that don't realize that schools do not have the ability or the doctors there to to give kids sex changes, like even that alone, like seriously, even that
Well,
alone, like no, listen to me. Stop for a second. This
I
shit is like
understand.
on national TV. Kids are
Yes.
listening to this. Could you imagine a kid thinking, "Oh, I don't want to go to school because I might get a sex change"? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Well, that's
No,
where.
no,
Go ahead.
there needs to be some fucking accountability somewhere.
No, no, but remember,
No,
so
no, no,
so
no, 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 no. Who is policing the police?
no, and
Against
you
my
asked a very
question.
good question, and I want to say it was CBS who actually asked the same thing of JD Vance, and
Yeah.
in which he was talking about the immigration issue
I think
in.
we should actually. I think we should form a fucking police and start policing the fucking Americans all like seriously. Like
Well, I am sure there will be people willing to join our entourage of people making sure that the police
no, yeah, yeah,
are
we
doing what they're
Team
we
supposed to.
won't belong to
police.
any country. We'll be called the no bullshitters.
Well,
No, I like it.
I consider myself to be a realist, and I
Exactly.
think that there are
Nothing wrong with
times
that. Nothing wrong with
in
that.
which there are some wheels that need to be greased.
Yes.
And going through the appropriate legal channels aren't
Yes.
always the best way to get things done. I
I
truly,
agree. I agree.
it's just my problem is that when you come to the police, to me, the police are supposed to be what the government is in the light. It's like they
Yes.
can't
Yes.
do the dirty stuff. You're the one, you're supposed to be the ones with the light, right? So
Yes.
it's like we understand that the dark shit happens in the shadows, but that shouldn't be the police, in my opinion. So when I see a police officer, when my kids, when they're grown, they see a police officer, I don't want them thinking of something from, I dare say, Equilibrium, the sci-fi movie, or another 1984 kind of Big Brother watching kind of thing. Unfortunately, that's the state that we are in right now. And you don't know when the slightest things you do are being recorded and saved and compiled by algorithms that you don't know what the intent is. My issue with
I
the
think,
Republican Party, go
yeah.
ahead.
I think anyone in today's society would be
Mhm.
ignorant and in the dark to assume they're not being recorded at everything.
You
and
say
you know what
that,
I
and
mean?
yet we still find penis after penis. Unsuspecting girl. I mean, I'm just like, I mean, you say it
No, no,
like people are
no,
protecting
I
themselves
know
in this.
myself personally. It wouldn't surprise
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do live my life of freedom. Like I don't give off F. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I
Because
do
I live,
not want to see
you
your
know,
penis, and don't. And this is the prequel to it.
well, no,
Just let me know now so I
well,
can go ahead and
well,
like block
brother,
your
you
video.
may, but let me hear me out though,
Okay.
because I do everything in peace and in love,
Okay.
and
Yes.
so as such, I have zero fear and zero worry
Yes.
because
Yes.
that's my approach. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
so when to me when people are about peace
Mm.
and just love and wellness for everybody, I don't
Yeah.
understand why people can't be about that for their
Yeah.
fellow human being,
So,
regardless of what
so,
party they're from.
so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
As a 50 plus year old man in the North Americas, you have been privy to American movies.
Yes.
So name me two movies that were peaceful from start to finish that you watched that came from America.
Two movies?
Yeah, just two
Peaceful.
off the
Yeah.
top of your head.
Does Debbie Does Dallas count?
But well, some people will consider pornography to be violence, but let's see, but it depends on where
See,
you are on the spectrum of
I
politics, right?
no, my point is, and that's a good question. I'm glad you said that because no, I hate guns. I hate violence. I still get like I'm a person that I feel I can handle myself.
Yeah, yeah,
But I get squeamish at blood. I get squeamish when people get shot.
yeah,
I actually watched a movie. I forget the name of it, but it's a movie about people watching a movie, and in this
yeah,
movie, humans are getting killed left, right, and center, and
yes.
nobody flinches or says a peep in this theater.
Are you
Okay,
talking about
at the
Faces of Death?
it might be because at the end of it, a dog gets shot.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Have you?
I don't
It's
want.
like
And
that
I'm
was
sorry
a
for you to
five
even.
movie thing.
And you might want to even blank out the fact that you said the name. I don't
Okay,
know
okay. No, no,
how
no, it's
people
fine.
interpret
It's
it.
fine.
But
It's
yeah,
fine. But my
I
point is
don't
that
remember that movie.
when the dog gets shot,
yeah.
everybody leaves that theater. Okay,
Uh-huh. So they
because
found something they care about.
exactly they didn't care about
So,
him.
but remember,
They're so
this happened to
desensitized.
that little squirrel. Wait,
They're
but
so
you heard
dis.
about the
Yeah,
squirrel?
the squirrel too. Yeah, I heard about the squirrel. Absolutely. Like what the fuck? When the
I
actual
I
yeah.
understand where your heart is.
No, 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 no. Listen to me. Listen to me. There's more people behind this fucking squirrel getting killed. And don't get me wrong, I feel for the squirrel than Columbine or fucking all these mass shootings. Like it's like people just don't
First
give a
person
fuck
shooter
anymore.
Okay,
games and stuff like
so
that, right?
forgive me. I was going to laugh when you said you felt for the squirrel. I'm thinking like, bruh,
No, I do.
bruh.
No,
Only because,
the
and like,
squirrel was just living. The
not
squirrel
that
was
the
just living his
squirrel didn't
best
have
life, and his
feelings
best
and a
life like
soul.
getting killed
Don't, no, 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 no.
because somebody hated the owners being on OnlyFans.
No,
Give some
but here's the
hater.
thing. So see, here's my problem. It's
Yeah,
like if I want to look at this just analytically,
yeah.
what did we have a problem with? And so when they killed Breonna Taylor, you didn't have as much of a problem. But when they
I
killed a
did.
squirrel, it's like you
Yeah.
are livid.
Hello,
And
hello.
so I just
Yeah.
want to
No, no.
know
Yeah.
what this squirrel did. So,
No. So there's more fucking precedents on the squirrel than fucking Breonna Taylor or George
so
Floyd.
but hold on. So I hear your emotion. My problem with that is that no, and I think it's rightfully founded. Unfortunately, some people, when as soon as they hear the emotion, they shut off. They're like, it's not my fault. It's like your emotions or your feelings, it's not my fault. They're not even listening anymore. So that's why for me, it's like many times I try to approach it from a more detached way of saying it and saying that, like, hey, so is the problem that the police came in and shot something that was considered to be a disturbance? Was that the problem? Was the problem that the disturbance has stopped? Was it the problem that the disturbance died? I mean, what was the problem? And if the problem is that there was a loss of life, how do you value life? And at what point did life of a squirrel equate to the life of a human? Forget the age, male, female, in school, a doctor. And it's like, and if life of humans is less than life of squirrels, the next time a human in uniform gets shot or hit by a car, then like you put a little stake on the side of the road like you did if it was a dog. Because apparently you're going to give the same value to human life as you are to wildlife. And if that's what you feel, I'm totally okay with that. But don't change the way you feel when they put on a uniform.
Yeah, no, and this is, again, my point, Walter, about peace, and it's almost like people are just so disconnected from the violence that is all around us, and especially America. Like it's and I'm not gonna kid
America's
you.
first solution
Again,
will never be peace. That's
I'm
the
a person that
problem.
can handle myself, but there's parts of the U.S. I will not go because of the violence.
No, you know
Uh,
what?
you, you know what I mean?
I'm not going to say there's any
That,
place
that that
in
being
the
said,
U.S. where you could
I'm in
not go.
Winnipeg, I'm in Manitoba. There's parts of Manitoba I won't go either because of violence, which Malcolm knows. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I'm just anti-violence, but I mean we don't have the guns and the violence that you guys have down there. Like it's a nightmare. It's a fucking
You
nightmare.
know, it might be a nightmare to you because you're not used to it. This is our regular,
Oh my
right?
God, it might be a nightmare to me because I'm not used to it. So you're used to it, so no problem? Is that what you're saying? Or
Oh
Americans
no,
are used to it,
no.
so no
Okay,
problem?
no, no,
Guys,
no. But what I'm saying is that if I were to go get gas at a gas station and the person in front of me had a gun, the fact that I might be uncomfortable is my problem. Like nobody else thinks that it should be their problem. It's like, oh, you have a problem that this person is carrying this gun. We're not going to ask him for ID. We're going to ask him for a license. We're going to ask whether or not it's loaded or whether or not he actually knows how to use it. It's like we're not even going to ask whether or not he's drunk. It's just like, yeah, he's allowed to carry it. And that's just the way it is for many states here in America. And when you
Yeah,
grow up with
yeah,
that,
and that's fair
yeah,
because there's a reason why personally I would never move to America, even though I've had a few
yeah,
chances to, and I
yeah.
wouldn't, and that's one of the reasons, for example,
But it's not
because
every state, right? So like if you're
no,
in
no,
California,
but something that
yeah,
has guns and right in the amendment, and then most
yeah,
people feel like it's their um, uh, yeah, because over the
God
years I've had an
given, right?
opportunity to
yeah,
relocate there, and
yeah.
I chose not to, because I like my peace.
No, no, and I think a lot of Americans would like to be in a peaceful world, and many Americans also believe that that's not a realistic thing to
Well,
expect. So to
well,
be able to protect
I
themselves,
can tell you all the ones in Ghana that have relocated there are enjoying life and their peace.
you know, I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound really bad, and it's just the way I feel. I do believe that some people need to leave the Americas, and some people need to
Okay.
stay. And you know what? I'm okay leaving. It just, it
I'm
just,
okay leaving too, brother. You
yeah.
know what?
I just
Yeah, because
I'm
You
sorry. It's
gotta
just
know.
like
you've been
I'm good
blessed to
leaving.
travel. You've been blessed to
And it's
travel.
like,
You've been blessed to see parts of the world. Not everybody has. Not everyone understands that there's a world out there. You know what I mean? There's a whole world
right,
out there
right.
yeah. So and that's where I really, honestly, I'm not kidding you. Like this is something that's been in my mind for so long in terms of like even starting a travel agency or where I
Hmm.
fly a bunch of Black Americans to
No,
Ghana
I was
or
actually
or just
considering starting up a business like similar to that myself, in which
let's fucking talk. Let's talk.
hey,
I'm dead serious
most
because
definitely.
I've
Yeah,
got the
yeah, yeah,
connects over there,
There you
and I'm telling you,
yeah.
we because to me,
I
if I honestly, if I could export every Black American out of America, I would like
go.
so
that.
You know, the NBA would be upset with
okay.
you as well as
So
Canada.
that's a
All
different
no,
thing.
we would create our own NBA league like that.
Okay, so I'm going to say it like this, and this is I'm going to be less popular immediately at one in saying this. I am a firm believer that not everyone who is of the same ethnic background as me is
Mhm.
invited.
I
But
agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. It's like
I think it has more to do with
That
mindset.
Republican that Republican
Yeah.
what is it, Robinson? Definitely not invited. I
No,
know he likes African.
no,
I know he likes
Robinson.
nude.
No,
I know
he's
I
just a kinky big black man who don't know how to keep his mouth shut. You know, I ain't mad at him.
hey,
I'm just saying, like, yo,
the only thing
if
I like
that's the way
about
you
him,
feel,
the only thing I like about him is that he likes nude Africa.
no, you know what? It's hey, I haven't checked it out. It might be okay, but
I did. It's
but
good. It's good.
it's like, but my only thing about it is that I don't have a problem with him being a sexual deviant. Not even a
No,
little
no,
bit.
no,
No,
not at
because
all.
it's
Not
America. It's
I'm
just like
one. I am one.
if
Okay,
you want to
I
stick it
am
in the
one.
toaster, it is hey, Sieg Heil, man. It's like do your thing, right? It's like you have a great time. It's like, but my question comes to if that's the way you feel and you want to be free and able to do the things that you want to do, then your political party should reflect your ideals and that, hey, you want to be free to sleep with who you want to sleep with and say what kind of fetishy fantasy things you want to do in some sort of adult forum. Then it's like then when other people do that, stay out of their business. That's the only answer. It's like I just like if that's what you want to do, understand that
Well,
people want to do different things. Let them be them.
no, no, for sure, for
Personally,
sure, for sure. But here again is the hypocrisy of life and people in general. Because again, I'm not like a Diddy fan, but here, Diddy's being prosecuted primarily because he's a sex freak, right? The freak offs. That's all I hear about.
gotta get my
No, no,
baby oil. You be
yeah,
like,
that's all.
like taking it right here.
Yeah.
Okay, spritz me.
Yeah, like that's all we hear about. But this asshole Trump, who's been like, convicted of using campaign money for hookers
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Epstein buddy and all this other stuff, is running for
right.
president
Yeah.
and has half America on his side.
What's the problem?
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
What's the problem? Okay, hold
I
on.
don't
Wait a
know.
minute. Wait a
I'm
minute.
sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
didn't shake your tail feather. Hold on. You got a problem with Diddy? It's like what's we weren't cool for a little bit of bump and
No,
grind.
no,
It's like
no.
I just need to know where do we draw the line?
Brother. This is where I'm gonna fuck you up right now. I'm actually on Diddy's side on this.
There ain't nothing
Are
wrong.
Listen, if Diddy did a sex trafficking or forced anyone to do
Yeah,
anything against their will, not cool. Okay, but if
I
he's got
agree.
1,000, I'm surprised he only had 1,000 or 10,000 lube. I would have had 100,000 if I had this kind of money. Okay,
He's right. He didn't have a lube swimming pool, right?
exactly.
It's like, and so here's the thing. To be perfectly
And then,
honest,
and on top of it, to be honest with you, R. Kelly, another one, because you brought up bump and grind. Okay,
okay.
I don't know that he put any guns to anyone's head. To be honest with you, and listen to me, Walter. If you go
Yeah.
to any room, okay, and you ask for a show of hands, how many people had sex under the age of 18? I promise you, 90% people will put their hands up. Okay,
Well,
90%.
it depends where
Okay,
you are, but yeah, yeah.
okay, all right. No, I promise you, 90%.
I
It's
get
a
you.
fact.
I get
We're
you.
we're we're human
not
because
high,
we're
eh?
sexual creatures, okay? And
Okay.
personally, you got kids, I got kids. I'd
Yeah,
rather my kids be sleeping with an R. Kelly, someone that's got money, okay,
yeah.
that can take care of them in case there's a pregnancy. We
Okay.
talked about this Malcolm before. There's some
Okay.
broke
Oh, we know
ass
that. Yeah,
kid
yeah.
or adult that can't
Right.
take care of them, okay? That being said, again, I don't believe anyone should do it because I lost my virginity when I was 12. I'm a freak.
Okay.
But a peaceful freak. But a peaceful freak. I'll
Yeah.
never do anything against their will. I don't
Right.
believe in that.
Right.
And to me, there's nothing wrong with sex.
Okay.
It's a pleasure. Fuck, don't
Yes.
fight. That's my motto.
There you
Fuck,
go.
don't fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I look at it like this. To me, I look at sex as like a supermarket, right? It's just
Yeah.
like there's lots and lots of different aisles, and depending on what I'm in the mood for, I might go
Yeah,
down this aisle. But there are some
my
aisles
nigga. My
I'm like,
nigga.
yo, that's not for me. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
No, that's
I
fair.
don't own
That's
a
fair.
pet, and I'm cool
No,
not
that's
owning a
fair.
pet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
need
yeah, yeah,
anything down
yeah.
this
No, no,
aisle.
that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. As long as it's all about peace and love. Malcolm,
Yeah,
you can
so
chime in
but yeah,
anytime.
I'm not gonna judge somebody
Yeah.
else because they came out of that aisle.
No,
That's all I'm
not
saying. It's like,
too
oh,
much
that's just
so.
not for me. So my only thing about Robinson is that, like I said, his party wants to put on a facade. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if you were just honest about who you were, do you know how much happier we would all be? It's like if you were really a decent human being, it's
Yeah.
like people would understand. It's like, oh, you're freaky. You like had sex at a young age. Yep. Yeah, I'm sure. Like you did, I did. Like my mom did, my dad did, and probably not with each other. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? It's just like it's one of those things where people go through lots of different things. Like there are some people who spend their time in the clubs, there's some people who spend their time in church, and yet somehow they all seem to find their way getting pregnant. So it's like for people to start pointing fingers like it doesn't happen in their inner circles, they're being, disingenuous.
100%.
So
100%.
like so for me, it's like I could see myself on a website like Nude Africa saying some wild shit. Now, probably not the wild shit he would say, but I could see like, hey, you know what? It's been 6 months. It's been hiding over hair since the last time I seen a woman. It's like, what do I have to do to make my profile pop, baby? And it's like next thing you know, it's like what are they missing in this and this ego? How can I set myself apart? It's like I know what you ain't got. You ain't got a black Nazi coming in there. I'm like, oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun. I shouldn't. I
Yeah.
shouldn't. It's like because you know what?
Funny.
I'll say it like this. I have done some things in my past, which I will say that some people would say, "Hey, that's not right." For you, it's not right. For me, it was the right thing to do, right?
Yeah,
So, and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
and whether I regret it then or now, it's like, yo, I can own with the stuff that I did, but like you said
Oh, for
earlier,
sure. Yeah.
if you are real to who you are, you don't have any regrets about the things
No,
you have done. It's
no,
like you just take it
no.
on the chin and figure out how do I
Absolutely.
move on after it. So for me, yo, man, I mean, I feel you. I just look at someone like Trump and what he has done with the honesty of the discourse. And that's what JD, they were saying about JD Vance. And I'm sorry, I let myself get sidetracked, but they had asked JD Vance who should do the fact checking in regards to the
Oh, yeah,
immigration
that
lies.
was
Mhm.
right.
Yeah,
He was
it wasn't
talking about
CBS.
the no, that was the Disney one, I thought.
No,
The
no, no,
one
no.
that was on
Well, he may have
ABC.
been at Disney. I'm trying to remember which reporter asked the question, but it was after they had done done the debate, and he was upset that they had done some fact checking, and then so he went on
Yeah,
again
yeah,
and
yeah.
out in the same
Yeah,
thing. They said, well, who should be doing the fact checking?
during
And
the ABS yeah, ABC, sorry.
it was
Not
ABC.
ABS,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, and then
Because that was
and
also on the House of Mouse, basically.
so
That's the
the
one.
crazy thing about it was that he said that it should be up to the press to fact check. But if the vice president is saying that we should call the press to fact check, then how can we have the presidential candidate say that the press is fake? So they've given us no
Hello?
place to go to for truth.
Mhm.
They said we're going to lie to you, and the place where you should go to the truth, you're not supposed to trust. So
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
lying.
See, Walter, see, this is my inherent problem with this person is
mhm.
and that party. It's just a nonstop. Like, yeah, we know they all lie, but don't be so don't be such an asshole about it. Do you know
No,
what I mean? Like, no, 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 no. This is like
yeah,
gaslighting
yeah.
this is gaslighting at its finest.
Well, see, I wish it was just gaslighting. To me, this is like 3D chess level gaslighting because this is what they do.
Oh,
They'll
good,
say
good,
like,
good, good analogy. No, actually, you know what? Actually, it's not that. It's brilliant, but it's not that brilliant. Like it's just so stupid.
no,
But you know what?
no,
What I've noticed
Well,
though,
they're catering to the audience, so
what I
that's
have
the
noticed,
thing.
watch.
boom, boom,
Yeah.
right there, Malcolm. What I have noticed with American politics, especially the ones that
Yes.
are over the top evil, which is usually the Republicans, by the way. Okay,
Okay, go
okay.
ahead.
Usually, what they do is usually they do this like wash my hands. Meanwhile, they're
Yes,
doing some other fucking sneaky level shit somewhere else.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
that because they're busy like showing people the smoke signals, and everyone's
Uh-huh.
watching like the fireworks. Meanwhile,
Yes,
they're like raping and pillaging or doing something at the sneakers or signing off some
yeah.
shit deals somewhere else. This is what they do, right? And everyone else is like sidetracked, like it's like the Pied Piper. Everyone else is watching all their antics. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
they're
So,
out the
so,
back.
so, so this is what happens when Trump will say
Oh, yeah.
something like the radical left
Yes,
liberal
yes,
immigrant loving
yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Satanists, right? So
Not
China
killing
virus.
animals.
right, but
Yeah.
see, here's the thing though. He puts them all
Mhm.
together like they're all adjectives talking about the same thing. But see, every time he does that, as soon as he says left, everyone on the right is like, them fuckers, like we know who he's talking about. So now when he says immigrant lovers, it's like, oh, so everybody on the left is an immigrant lover. And then he said radical. Okay, so everybody who loves immigrants must be radical. It's like these people wanting to. So
These
he
buzzwords.
found all these little punch words that are
But
significant to
but
two
but
percent of the population,
but
and
are
he's
people that
adding them all
stupid though?
together.
Because
Huh?
when I look at a lot of the Trump rallies,
Yeah,
I see a
yeah,
lot of Latinos, I see a lot of blacks, I see a lot of
yeah,
Chinese,
yeah,
and even a lot of the whites. And
yeah,
you know, I don't know, but maybe
yeah.
I'm not going to sit and pretend I know it all.
You're
And I think
right.
we did talk about this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure everyone in North America is a fucking immigrant at one point in time.
Well, a lot of
I
them
mean,
don't
I mean, I
see it
mean,
that
there's some
way.
people that were born here, but
No, no, I get
ancestor-wise,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So what the fuck are we
There are
talking
a lot of
about?
people who don't feel
No,
that
no,
way.
no, 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 listen to me.
Yeah.
When someone says immigrants this, let's ban the immigrants, let's deport the immigrants, I'm thinking,
Mm.
who the fuck made you God? Seriously, who the fuck made you
I,
God?
I understand the frustration. And unfortunately, there are people here who do believe that as Americans, they have a right to
Oh,
dictate how
no,
other
no,
Americans
actually,
live.
well, whatever. Just so you know, and just so the fucking whole world knows, I'm telling my people stay the fuck home because Ghana is way better than the fucking North America period. They're way more peaceful, way more money, way more dance, way more food. Like, just enjoy the life. I don't get whether you got 2 cents or whether you got 2 billion. Stay home. Stay in Ghana.
I do believe that there are people who measure the quality of life differently, right? So I've been
Oh,
trying to convince Malcolm to
for sure,
leave his
for
country
sure.
for a while. So I'm like, hey, it's better this other place, and he's just like, well, I have this. Like, yeah, but and I know it's better. It's like why are you doing this? And
Who,
so
Malcolm?
sometimes.
No, no, no. Malcolm never. Malcolm's like almost. He's close to being like full Indian. He's like half Indian right now. He only pays one tax. He only pays one. He only pays one tax there.
So I'll say it like this.
He's
I
over
plan
not
on
Indian, not
probably.
Indian. I should say treaty status. That's what I
Treaty
should say.
status. There you go. See, I got my treaty status almost.
Honestly, to be perfectly honest, I truly believe, in my humble opinion,
Yeah,
that if you are not a criminal, then you should be allowed to travel freely throughout the world, period.
absolutely,
That's just
absolutely,
it. It's like, and
absolutely.
like aside from that, like, hey, you find out what the rules are, the place you're going, you're willing to live by those rules and those laws, go any place you want to go.
I agree.
Should be able
I
to
agree
do.
with you there. I
Yeah, like,
agree.
yeah, like let everybody
Wholeheartedly.
else worry
Yeah,
about the other shit,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. And as
So,
long as you have means to look after yourself and you're not gonna like steal or do things to
yeah.
live while you're there. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
But remember all
I
those times that we've had Americans who have the means to take care of themselves, go overseas and do things and commit crimes just because they can. So, I mean,
exactly.
poverty isn't the only reason that,
No,
that
no,
crimes
and this
happen, right?
and this is something that never gets talked about. Like, do you know how many Americans are getting like deported from Mexico for crimes?
Yep. And many times I
It's
believe
probably a
it comes
good
down
thing
to a
because
lack of
that's
respect for your fellow man.
Yeah,
And so, I mean, anytime you steal something from somebody, to me, it's a disrespectful thing, right? Somebody went through
absolutely.
an effort to acquire this, and you're
Thank
going
you.
to take that effort from them.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for me, that's
Thank
the
you.
level of
Yeah,
disrespect.
yeah. And you see how Donald Trump's trying to steal everyone's brain cells, including mine? Huge disrespect.
Well, I, I mean, I'll be honest. I am not a fan of Donald Trump, but I don't want the fans who are of Donald Trump to not be listening to us because we agreed to not be fans of Donald Trump.
No, for sure.
And
Well,
it's
see,
not
and the
that
thing,
I want to pretend.
honestly, I would
Yeah.
love to get a Donald Trump fan or fans
hmm
to have a conversation to try to understand why. How? Is it
and
just because he's
so
white? Is it
I
just
can
because,
parrot some things that I've heard and from fellow black men in America.
okay,
And it's not that they love Donald Trump. Some of them are just, well, we are tired of depending on the Democratic Party to do things that we don't believe they're going to do.
what
And
what do they say? Like which
yeah,
things?
they feel that they've been voting Democrat for years and years and
wait,
years.
but
And what have
hold
the
up, hold up,
Democrats
hold up,
done for
hold up,
them?
hold up, hold up, hold up, hold
Yeah,
up, hold up, hold up.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
for me, for myself, first and foremost, I cannot believe out of 300 fucking million people that you assholes is only got this fucking piece of shit that can run for the Republicans, first and foremost. Second, okay, I don't give a shit what the Democrats have done or not done personally.
Okay.
How as a black person, actually not even a black person, how can anyone support this goofball? I do not understand. Help
Okay.
me
No.
understand.
I'm gonna try to defend people who I don't represent. So I'm not gonna do a great job, but I'm gonna try to tell you what
Help
I
me,
think's happening.
please. Help me, please.
Okay. So for a lot of these people, when you listen to them talk, they say things like, "Well, he's gonna run it like a company, and if he runs the country like a company, we'll be
He
fine."
was supposed to do before.
But
For
No, no, dude, all he's done with the company is put his
yeah.
name on the fucking buildings. Okay,
Well,
he's
he
gone
doesn't
out
actually
of
even run any
right.
business.
companies.
But that's not what they see. So they see that when they go to try to live in a Trump building, they can't afford it. They see that it's exclusionary beyond what they can get into. So it must be good. It's like they have never looked behind the curtain. Now the people
That
who live in the
line
buildings can tell you
at
that it's garbage and they've got to rip out everything and completely build it themselves. They can tell you that. But the people who aren't allowed in the building will never know that. So
Honestly,
it's like you said before, it's a magic act. It's look over here at this, and you will not pay any attention to what we're doing over here.
no, yeah,
most of its
and they're classic
businesses
for
have
that.
gone bankrupt
Yeah,
too.
yeah, they're so classic for that. Um,
Yeah.
Well,
uh,
so I mean, I was looking at little things like let's say that we know that Donald Trump is guilty of at least the 34 things that they found him for, right?
and some,
And
yeah, that's just
this isn't a knock on him. This is just being this is a fact.
it's just a
Okay,
fact.
Yeah.
so it's he has been found guilty for 34 counts, and whether you believe it or not, it's like this was a jury in a court, and since other people you don't give jobs to because they have criminal records, he has a criminal record just like they have a criminal record. So that being said, whether you like him or not, whether you believe he's innocent or not, he now has a criminal record. This
See,
guy,
see, and I actually
yeah,
do believe
yeah,
criminals should be reformed or should be given the chance to reform, right? Everyone fucks up, everyone makes a mistake. This guy, there's no reform in him at all. There's no
I can't,
remorse
Oh,
in him at
I can't,
all.
I can, if
I,
I'm going to believe you on the first sentence you said, I have to disagree with you on the second sentence. If
oh, that
reformation is possible, then it's got to be possible
No,
for
no,
everybody.
no, 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 no. I
Okay,
said I do believe in reform. Not
okay,
everyone is reformable.
okay.
oh,
But we
gotcha.
have to at least give it the attempt, right? If we want to put that out there to say that we're
No,
going to
no,
reform
no,
people
no,
on
no.
Supreme
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Court.
yeah, 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 yeah. But
Yeah,
in order to do that, you,
yeah,
for example, let's say you, Walter,
yeah,
or a criminal, and you
yeah.
spent like Menendez brothers 30 something years in jail, and the clemency, whatever the fuck you want to call it, or you've been reformed,
Okay,
okay,
yeah,
and you're actually, oh please, I'll never do it again. I'll get a job. Da da da.
yeah.
This asshole is not doing none of that. Okay, if anything, he's doubled down.
I
Okay.
agree.
So you're saying
I
he's
agree.
not remorseful. Yeah.
But
Zero,
he doesn't
zero.
see any of the problems and the
No,
stuff
no,
he's
zero,
doing.
zero, zero. January 6th, do you know how many people died? All this Giuliani, all these people, they've all lost their court cases. So many of his henchmen have taken a fall and gone to jail. And you think
So,
this guy say, sorry, Danny, like, I fucked up?
okay.
Nothing.
So the problem with January 6th, in my opinion, isn't the dead people. I know how silly that sounds, but this is America. Don't bother counting dead people. Okay, just ignore all the dead
No,
people. They don't
see,
matter.
brother, I love you, but I got to disagree
Yeah.
with you there
I
because to me, no one
yeah,
should have their life taken from them because of somebody else.
I
And
don't
that's
disagree with you.
exactly what happened.
I thought you were trying to talk about American politics.
Well, that's part of it. Well, it is part of politics
No,
is
no, no,
killing
no
innocent.
problem. Which
Yeah.
American political thing do you think changed because somebody died?
Which political thing changed?
Yeah.
The problem, fuck all. The problem's fuck all. Nothing
No,
changed.
no. So I'm saying if we're going to talk about politics and the efficacy
Yeah.
of politics, I'm just saying body counts haven't really made much of a difference to American politics.
No, it hasn't. But that's what I'm saying is it needs people need to be accountable, especially people that we're putting in powerful positions,
But
right?
accountable to whom, Alex?
Accountable to the people that are fucking hiring them for the people that they're working for, that they should be working for.
Uh,
Same
No,
okay.
no,
fucking people are that way.
really? Yeah.
No, no, no,
No,
no.
no.
I don't know.
No, no, no.
When you say that,
Once you get into office, once not even
yeah.
get into office, before you get into office, right? You don't just
Mm,
walk in there and say, you don't like arm wrestle for it. People actually vote like what we're watching right now. People actually put you
right.
into office, and so
Yeah.
essentially, you're working for the public. You should be
So
representing the public. You're
I,
accountable to the public.
I get you, but okay. Let's say you are in the Republican Party, and you know that the National Rifle Association is a big supporter of the Republican Party. They're going to fill
They
your
are the Republican Party.
they're one of the big voices in the Republican Party,
They are the Republican Party. Come on.
and they have permeated different parts of our society to the point where now
Yeah.
they're even trying to make sure that even our educational system is filled with guns.
Yeah.
And
It's too bad that shooter had a bad aim. And it's what
I definitely am
Wow.
not going to say that. I think it's a wonderful thing that
well, no,
everyone.
I'm just saying might have changed
Everybody,
some Republicans' minds, maybe. That's all.
Uh, you know, I here's the thing. I
Yeah.
think Donald Trump would make a dangerous martyr. And
Yes. So
it's
I'd like to see.
you
well,
want to see that?
well, I
That's
don't
what's
know if
scary.
America, I hate to say it like this, I don't know if America could recover from political violence. If it actually happened where a
January
politician got
6th. What the hell do you think
killed,
happened January 6th?
huh?
What
No,
do you
that
think
didn't
happened
count.
January 6th?
No,
That
I'm
didn't
telling
count?
you, no. It's like anybody cared about died. It just like no, and I mean I hate to say it that way, but they don't care. And it's like if you don't believe me, just ask them. It's like when you talk about the people who died or how they died, they don't care. They're like, oh, that was a heart attack. That had something to do with COVID. They take no responsibility of it. And you think that somehow you saying it in a more heartfelt manner is going to change their mind. And I'm assuring you, we don't care. I know this because remember when they kneeled on George Floyd, nobody cared
Right.
the fact that he was already in the vehicle. They pulled him out the vehicle to
No,
kill him.
no, 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 Walter,
He was
Walter,
already handcuffed
Walter,
in the
Walter,
vehicle.
brother, Walter. Thank you for sharing that with me. But
Yeah.
it's very clear Americans don't care because
I
this asshole is still
and,
there.
and
Okay,
so I'm just saying if you
Other than
want to have a
Colorado,
conversation with them, you
other
got
than
to meet them where they're at.
Colorado, other than Colorado, and I forget what other state that tried to get him off
Oh,
the ballot,
yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
of all the shit he's done, which I
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very
That was
clear.
January 6th that they were
Yeah,
using for that
it's very
specifically.
clear Americans don't care. It's very, very clear.
Well, you see, with the
It,
efforts in Colorado, some Americans are trying. Okay, and it's like,
no,
and
no,
there
no,
are
no, no, but
efforts that
that's a
are out
problem.
there.
That's a problem is only some. That's a problem, right? Because
Well,
everyone needs to give a fuck. Like you can't have some people with common sense and some with zero sense.
unfortunately,
It's
that
like oil and
okay.
water.
It's
So
close.
I don't know how much people know or believe in like the bell curve theory or anything like that, and which saying that like say that the average IQ is 100, and and then you have standard deviations either way to the disbursement for the intelligence of different people of the world. Anyway, long and the short of it is that the average person has an average IQ. But that also means that half the people are below average IQ. Unfortunately, all them suckers get to vote the same number of times the other half the people get to vote. And in America, we are trying to do everything we can to make sure that people don't get too high of IQs. And that's scary. It's like
You think?
we're
You
making
think?
education worse.
You
We're making it
think?
more expensive.
No, no. Listen to me.
Yeah.
If half of your country does not
Yeah.
know right from wrong, it's
Half of our
essentially,
country doesn't
and
know right
it's
from left.
yeah, that is a scary proposition, bro. That is.
I don't disagree. I'm not saying that this is the best government in the world. I'm saying this is the best government we got. So, so that's what we got. It's like we're like the Electoral College is an absolute travesty. Gerrymandering, on a smaller scale it should be illegal for so many different reasons. But the idea that we create these different classes in America and we try to act like it has something to do with finances when it's not just finances. Sometimes it is skin color. Sometimes it is, languages. Like in the Northeast, there's not that much Spanish speaking as far as the Americans who do speak a second language. But if you go down in the Southwest, if you're going to speak a second language that's going to be useful, it sure the hell won't be French. It's like that's not going to help you in LA the same way Spanish will. So
True.
it's a, but we have different cultures. We've got a different flavor. I mean, even if you go to I mean, I want to say, like hip hop, the East Coast, West Coast, and the South, and just how
Hmm.
different the feels are. But even go to the way they play basketball. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
watching the NBA and the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference and see the different flow of the game. And it's been that
Hmm.
way for 40 years. And so it's like there's a culture thing within America that goes beyond just black and white. There's some East, some West, some North, some South. There's
Yeah,
lots
yeah,
of
yeah,
different
yeah, yeah, yeah,
variations of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
So
for sure.
unfortunately, Trump lies so much, and he lies just enough to get the ear of the thing that you care about. It's like, oh, you can't make money? It's like, I'm gonna say I'm gonna get money for people who look like you. It's like, oh, well, you can't go to school. Well, I'm gonna make sure that people like you can get the schooling that you need. It's like, oh, you don't have anything to be afraid of. I'm gonna make up some shit so that you can be afraid of it. Like trans teachers exposing themselves to recruit your children. It's just like, yo, that's weird. Even the people who sent that to me turned out it was something from Canada. Malcolm, thank you very much. That you guys
Ooh.
had some trans teachers going to some sort of school trying to talk about how gender is more than binary. And I assure you, there are lots of people down here in the Yankee Doodle town who was losing their shit over the fact that you're saying that there could be anything other than male and female. So
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
what did you say,
Well,
Canadian?
no, to me, those people already lost their shit. They think that there is only male and female. You know what I mean? Because that's people that don't understand biology, and as far as I'm concerned, right?
well,
Because my biology, if
mhm,
it, especially those that believe in God, should
yeah.
understand biology because that's why there's hermaphrodites. There's literally it could be men trapped in a female body or female trapped in a man's body. Like it happens. It's just the X and Y chromosomes. It
So
happens.
I'll tell you like this. For me, I don't believe that the idea of male and female is limited to just physicality. So,
100%. See,
but I
I knew I
also
liked
understand.
you.
But I mean, at the same time, I don't care about the bathrooms the way some other people care
No,
about the
no,
bathroom.
100%.
It's
Yeah,
like when
same.
I go to the bathroom, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty cool in my stall. I care more about why is it in America the door to the bathroom doesn't go to the floor. It's like, what do you need to see my underwear for?
I care more about in America. Why is it
Yeah,
that when I'm driving, I get back on the interstate from my Wendy's to come back up north, I see a
yeah,
homeless person pushing a cart down the
yeah,
highway.
yeah. Now, why does that bother you?
Why does that bother me? It breaks
Yeah.
my heart because this is this person's life in America.
Oh, so you're saying that Americans should have more than just homelessness, or they
The
should
whole
all
world,
have?
well, instead of
Would he
spending
be happier if the homeless guy was
it's,
driving a
it's
Mercedes?
I'd be happy, yeah. Instead of because I know how much I like Mercedes Benzes myself. Absolutely.
Right, but
Why
he'd
wouldn't I
still be
want the
homeless.
in a Mercedes? Yeah, instead of a cart. Okay.
No, no, well,
No,
you
hear
bring
me
up a
out.
good
Hear me
point.
out. Hear
And the
me
reason
out.
why I
Hear
asked,
me out. Because
yeah,
I would rather, instead of us spending almost $1 billion on military spending, let's make
yeah.
sure we don't have any homeless people. How about that first? Because that's a war to me in itself,
No, no,
personally.
I hear you, and I don't disagree that the homeless problem is a problem, but there are a lot of things that we have in America, at least that we have told ourselves that the reason why we have them and the reason why we can keep them is because we do have this military to defend other people from taking them. Because we have convinced ourselves that
No.
everyone who
Exactly.
doesn't have
No,
what we have wants to steal our stuff.
exactly. You can, yeah, and that's again marketing. Trust me. I don't know
Mhm,
what you do, but I'm a business person, and I know
mhm,
marketing like to a T. Okay,
mhm.
and America, there are a lot of things, but one thing I give them credit for is the brainwashing, the marketing of it. Like it's yeah.
I want to say, it's like we the baddest, and it's like yeah, the gold medal marketers. It's like
But
yes.
your marketing's for evil purposes, though,
No, hey,
right?
hey, 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 hey,
Only
hey.
some.
Evil,
Only some.
evil is a theological ideology, and we like to keep our religion away from our business. So don't
Not
be
really,
judging
not
us. Don't
really,
be
not
don't be hating.
really,
No, don't be
not
hating.
not not really. Religion there too is a big business.
Yes, yes, a very big one. They just paid $1 billion for 1.5 billion.
Yeah,
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 for the
just
two lawsuits.
right. Yeah, that's Joel Osteen or the Bakers or I could go on and on and on.
It's unfortunately, yes, there's corruption in different places.
Yeah,
My thing is, if we were going to actually try to fix the government, I think we probably could. The
actually,
problem is, I don't know if everyone agrees that the government's broken. And if you only want to complain about it when you're losing, it's sort of a problem.
no. You know what? I guess you know what. nothing's perfect in life. I'm well aware that, and to me, like even Canadian politics, I can't tell the last time when I voted, to be honest with you, because they're all bullshit. Anyways, I
Yeah.
live my life, and as long as they don't overly affect my life, I wouldn't
Right.
waste my time. I'd rather spend my time trying to make a dollar than spend
Yeah.
my time going to vote for a piece of shit that's gonna lie and fucking do whatever they want anyways. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as they don't overly fuck me.
Yeah.
And for example, like even my country, Ghana, where I'm from, we spent
Uh-huh.
300 million US. I'll keep going back to this because this is a problem for me. And I actually think I'm running for office in my country because of this. For
Okay.
example, we spent 300 million US every year on military spending, but we've
Yeah.
never been to a fucking war ever.
Really?
Well, see,
Three
and for
hundred
that money,
million?
you might be a war.
Okay,
So
okay,
I'm just
okay,
telling you, it's a
okay.
global
No,
shakedown.
no,
It's
300 million every year.
yeah,
And no, and even if we cut that back by 10%, 30
yeah,
million, and
yeah.
help, some homeless people build some, it'd be a, a beautiful thing. That's what I'm saying.
So
And so
unfortunately, what they say, and the reason why,
homelessness is not just an American thing. It is worldwide, and it is something that,
well, if I
you know,
recall, I believe in Ghana they were doing this thing with rammed earth construction for houses in order to make
yes,
affordable housing for people.
yes,
And
yes,
it turned out to be one of the things actually I was actually interested in. So I was looking at doing rammed earth housing in different parts of the world myself. And so, but it was for again, maybe my way of thinking isn't common amongst a lot of Americans because I did have the opportunity to live overseas and live in a few different states. So I got perspective from different people, and I was lucky enough to be able to empathize with people that didn't look like me. So I got to see me in other places. So
yeah,
that's what when I was trying to say before about, we were trying to get black people, you know, out of America. It's not that I think only black people can go to other places. I'm thinking
no,
black
no,
people specifically are trapped here and psychologically in a way that other people are not. I don't think they realize that the world is theirs. It's like they aren't beholden to having to stay within these borders. It's like all of this is yours just as much as it is theirs.
yeah,
And and
yeah.
and it's just it's unfortunate
Well.
that somehow they have to be
Well,
defined
with some of
in
them,
the context.
with some of them don't have a choice because if we consider the hundreds of thousands of black men that are in jail, in the American jails that are
Well,
innocent, you
that's a
know,
different thing,
yeah,
but
yeah, they don't have a choice because they can't travel, but your
yeah.
soon-to-be president can though.
You think
Okay.
so, eh?
So
Oh wow.
yes,
They're
that is a problem about the inconsistency of the law, but that is changing of the judicial system, which I think is the number one thing that needs to change in America.
Really?
That
Oh wait, oh yeah, yeah, the one
yeah,
that he's got all his buddies there too.
well, it's not
That
just the
reverse Roe
Supreme
versus
Court. I'm talking
Wade
all
and
the way down to the local courts.
yeah, 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 true, true,
It needs to be cleaned up, right? It needs to be
true.
a system that we can trust. And when we know that having the right skin tone or the wrong skin tone or the right or wrong bank account can completely and totally change your reality in this country in a way that should
In this
not be reflected in our laws.
in this country too.
Yeah, so I mean, with Donald Trump, he just made it obvious. He's just like, yeah, this is pretty. I mean, if you were a candidate running in your country of Ghana
Hmm.
and you were caught on a hot mic admitting to making advances on a pregnant woman, oh, not a pregnant woman, but a married woman, and
Hmm.
then also going on to brag about sexual assault. I've never been to Ghana.
Hmm.
I'm going out on just on a limb and say that even if you did it, the fact that you got caught on a hot mic admitting to it would disqualify you from running from office.
It should.
Probably.
It should.
It,
And
It
and if it
should.
doesn't, it just tells you a lot about the country.
100%.
So,
100%.
so
No,
I'm with you.
100%.
At some point, there
100%.
has to be
Grab him
something
by the
that
pussy.
disqualifies
Grab him
you.
by the pussy. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and
right.
don't get me
That
wrong.
was
No,
hot
brother.
on.
I have used the word pussy. Don't get me wrong. And
Walter,
I
so
think
It's
Walter,
a great
so have
word.
I. So have I. But not for
I,
It's a
somebody
great
that's
word.
like no, no, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
It, it's I have no problem with the word, but
Hmm.
it's the context, okay, of how that word
Yes.
was used.
Hmm. So,
Okay.
so do you have a bigger problem with him saying it that way, or his followers calling Kamala Harris a cunt?
Both of them. Both of them.
No, no, no. You have to
Oh, do I have
choose.
a bigger? Do I have a? Oh, do I have to
Yes.
choose a bigger problem with that word? Because a cunt to me is a beautiful thing.
Okay. So my problem is that they did whether regardless of how you might feel about
No, no, he
Kamala.
meant. Let me
Yeah.
attack
Yeah.
because again, I come from a school where sticks and stones may break my bones. Okay,
Sure.
I don't give a fuck about names. Okay, let's be
Right.
all honest, right?
Yeah.
And so them calling Kamala Harris to me a cunt,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're trying to say um um and yeah, call her like whatever. It's not meant to
Mhm.
be a nice word. They're calling that to be
Mhm.
derogatory. But to
Mhm.
me, the reason why what he said is worse is
Mhm.
that is actually an degrading
Mhm.
female. Like it's degrading.
Well, I think you're saying right. It's the action. He's talking about
It's
is the
that
action,
action, yeah, and that, yeah,
right?
where
As
someone's
opposed
just
to
calling
just the
somebody
body
names.
part.
Yeah. Or as
So
opposed to just calling somebody names, as opposed to just
I
calling
can
somebody
agree with you
names.
there.
Yeah.
But the
So
reason why I would
We're doing fine.
disagree as to why the other one offends me more is because at that point, Kamala Harris, you're not saying this because of something she did to you personally. You're saying this for something she represents. And for me, it's like the presidency is a position that demands a certain level of respect.
no, but brother, I'm okay with that, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because I feel Donald Trump supporters are cunts too. So
But they aren't running for
They were.
president. You know
no,
what I'm
no,
saying?
but I think he's a fucking dirty cunt too.
Yeah.
Not the good kind of cunt.
Yeah.
Okay? So
See, there you go, judging the dirty ones. I'm saying the dirty ones are pretty good too. But
no. You've clearly never smelled a dirty stank cunt. Okay?
oh, you know what?
The
I'm gonna
border.
take your word for that because you
Yeah. Trust me.
look, I
Trust
thought
me.
I had smelled some bad things in my day, and then
No,
somebody
trust
turned me
me.
on to
Trust
jackfruit,
me. Trust me.
and I'm
Every time
like,
this guy, yeah,
oh, there are things that
Jackfruit.
smell.
no,
You
bro.
smell jackfruit?
I don't
Oh
know if you ever
man,
smelled a dead animal, okay? But that's what a
Yes.
rotten
You know,
poom pooms. That's
have
what
you smelled
rot.
jackfruit?
No.
I have.
I'm just saying, go
Okay.
because here's the thing about a rotten animal. You smell it, you're like, yo, I'm not gonna eat that. It's
That's what
like
poom pooms. Yeah, that's what
jackfruit.
poom.
People smell
That's what
that and
a
look, I need a piece.
okay. See, I'm jackfruit. I think I've had a drink for jackfruit, but it's
Jackfruit
Oh
probably sweet
stinks
though.
no, they
so
made that into
bad,
a
but
drink.
it's
That would be
No? Okay. No,
scary.
I'm thinking sour sop. I'm thinking sour sop.
Okay,
oh
no, no,
sour
Yeah.
sop is so
no.
good too.
Go
Another
to an
Jamaican.
exotic fruit store. Get you some jackfruit.
Jackfruit. All right.
Yeah, it's like I don't even care if you eat it. Just smell it.
Why would you
You
do
know
that
what
to me
I'm
though?
talking
Why
about.
would I want to know? I just
The fruit is really good though.
No, the
If you
thing
can
is,
get
I
past the
don't know
smell,
how I got
it's
on this
good.
topic, but just if you see it grow on a tree, you would swear the tree was dead.
really.
And it's like, yeah, like,
Those fruits are huge.
yeah, pull it up on YouTube, on Google.
Yeah.
You'll see what I'm talking. As soon as you see it on the tree, you're like, you already know, and
All
it
right.
smells a lot worse than it looks. But yeah, but some people love it, but no, that's no, you don't. Jackfruit pulled pork. Oh, hells no.
Okay. You know what? Hmm.
So see, yeah, unfortunately, they don't have a good one, a good picture. It's because it's like when
Oh,
they
you know
all
what?
grow
I'll just
together,
go to
that
Go
images.
to
one big
images.
heap.
Scroll down.
Yeah, but yeah, they get a lot larger.
Yeah, they're huge. They're like watermelon size.
Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
mean they're massive.
Okay,
But yeah,
okay.
oh that
Like,
oof, man, that stuff is special. But
they
anyway,
grow in Jamaica,
Hmm.
yeah,
uh,
they're
and
very
Interesting.
Indonesia.
tropical.
I think it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, and and people say it tastes great, but it's for
You
me,
have to
it
get
reminds
past
me of
the smell
chitlins,
though.
right?
You gotta get
It's
past
like,
the
Hmm.
smell.
yeah, if you can't get past the smell, I mean, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I like apples and oranges. I'll be okay. I don't eat
Yeah.
that fruit. Yeah. But no,
No.
man, it's a. But no, I
Fruit's
don't really
delicious
fault
though.
anybody for really just off rip because they want to vote for Trump. My thing, I like to go like a layer deeper, right? Why do you think that it's okay to overlook all the negative things? What positive thing was so strong that you overlooked all the negative things? And so I just want to know, like in their mind, are you trying to tell me that $2,000 extra that you think you're going to get at the end of the year was okay to allow him to put babies in cages and
Yeah,
to
and you know
stop
what?
and
And I
frisk
guess
people who
Walter,
just don't look right?
and in all honesty, and I guess maybe that's where I'm different than some people or most people,
Yeah,
because I'll walk away, and I have walked away from $1 million opportunities
yeah,
because the people that I was working or doing with weren't
yeah.
correct.
And you and I think, are on the same wavelength about a lot of things like that. But the thing is, though, that $1 million is still going to be sitting there for somebody else.
I don't
And
care.
the
I don't
person
care.
who puts it, no, no,
I
no,
would,
I don't
yeah,
disagree. I'm right there with you.
yeah, yeah. Like I won't justify my peace for money ever, as
Oh,
much
no,
as I love
no.
money. You know what I'm saying? And
Alex,
even
I
yeah.
think the three of us are probably more
Oh, I
kindred
know
spirits
that.
than you
I,
would
like
think.
for example, I have a friend of mine, Asia, from Laos, and I
Yeah.
hope I'd like to get him on here one day too. And he's a big stock investor, and he invests in
Hmm.
companies like Nvidia and a lot of army stocks that I always give him shit about because I'm like,
Okay.
you're helping kill those people in Palestine, right? You're helping kill, like, you
Right.
know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
buy stocks too, but I'll never buy an army stock or
Yeah.
military stock ever.
Yeah.
You know what I
Military,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
a
No, I know.
defense contract.
I understand. I understand.
yeah, yeah. It's just no. I'm not gonna support that shit.
No, no, and I think people should put their money where their feelings are. Honestly, I think that people should be able to vote with their money, and your taxes should go to exactly what you want to fund. If you want to fund education, you want to fund military, you should
Boom,
be able to decide
boom,
what that allotment is.
boom. See,
So it's like,
right there, right
you
there.
know,
What you just said, Malcolm. Remember, I think a while back we had a conversation about this, where we talked about this, where like people, taxpaying citizens, should have a say, like before they spend it,
100%.
before they write that big check to Ukraine or write that big check to Africa, we should have a
Yes.
say in where
Where the
spending
money
needs
is
to go
going
or where
yeah,
money's
I mean,
how
needed,
you
it's
say like,
and
going.
and
hey,
and who
I'm going to
votes,
take this much money from
yeah,
Alex.
yeah,
All right, Alex,
yeah,
how do you want us to spend the money? And then you just
exactly,
fill in some boxes. It's like the money's
exactly.
gone.
Yeah,
Right?
Because
yeah,
honestly, Walter, to me, that's where politics should change.
Yeah.
Because I know we elect our officials, our members of parliament from our areas, and they go into the big house and they represent all
Yeah.
of us. But I think that's where I think the buck should stop once it comes to spending the money. I think that's when there should be checks and balances, and that's when citizens should have a vote, say again, period.
Yep. And the only
Like
thing I would do differently is I would make it so industries would not be allowed to vote. So basically,
100%. Exactly.
only living people,
Exactly.
no entities,
Exactly.
people can vote.
Exactly. Exactly. Because
But yeah,
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, there's no 100%. Boom. See? We should be running this fucking country.
oh yeah, I mean, we can make it equitable if people actually wanted equality, but they
Yeah.
don't. You know, so and the people with the power, why are they going to give up the power to let other people have it? And unfortunately, that's just the way that we're raised to
Well,
think of
see,
what's
see,
supposed to
and
happen.
that's a problem though, is like just listen to what you just said. What you just said that the people with the power, why
Mhm.
would they give it up? Really? But
okay.
we as taxpayers have given it up.
I don't disagree. Now the question is, the funny thing is, we as the taxpayers, we do have the power.
Yeah.
However, because they have divided us in such a way, it's difficult to see the power that we have. So it's unfortunate, but this is why I look at, unfortunately, what's in America now, and I say it might make more sense to just leave. And that's not giving up on America. It's just, why should we spend so much of our energy
I
trying to
brother,
fix a system that they want to
I'm
keep
not
broken?
listen, Walter. I know
Yes.
we just met like
Most.
about a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because when I came to this fucking country, I was 7 years old, okay?
Okay.
And I didn't have a choice.
Right.
At
I get
56
you.
years old, I do have a choice now. And I'm at a
Yeah.
place where, yeah, I have my kids and this is their home and this is where, but no, I do not plan to live the rest of my life out here. Period.
It, it has Disneyland. I like In-N-Out Burger.
And
There's
brother,
stuff I might
listen,
miss.
I got KFC in my country. I got Burger King in my country.
Right.
I I
Right.
got no problem. I got plantains. I got like
No,
I got mangoes. I
well,
got like fresh fruit.
I, I,
I can buy my groceries for the month for like fucking $100 Canadian.
I am
versus
going to
like
be honest with you. As someone who has lived overseas for a little while and who has done a little bit more traveling, I would say in half the countries that I've been to, I could see myself living in. And
exactly.
and that's without looking hard.
No, exactly, exactly. Oh, brother, and I won't talk about the interest rates at other countries. I
oh
won't get into
yeah.
the interest rates. Come on.
It's like even putting your
Cash.
money in an American bank doesn't make any sense. It's like
No, no.
this makes I mean like, why
Like,
would you
like
do business with these people?
treasury bills in my country is like 29%. My money's gonna double every 2.5 years. Why the fuck would I put it here
Gee.
for at 1.5%? And my money will double every 30 years if I'm lucky. Fuck off.
You know, I am a firm believer in making my money work for me.
Me too,
And
100%.
there are I look at too many Americans right now who are keeping score in the wrong way. Many people are like, I need to make more money. I need to make more money without realizing that their net at the end of the year hasn't gone up. Sometimes it's
Yep.
gone down when you got
Nope,
that
exactly,
promotion. You got that,
exactly.
you got that raise. And so they're talking about, well, the price of gas has gone up. It's like, yeah, but you also got your raise. The value of your house went up. All that, but the problem is now it used to be you could pay off your car in 3 years. Now they're trying to finance you for 7 years. It's like
Years, 10
your house
years
that you
actually,
should pay
there
off
was
in
one.
15 years is now 30 years. You're never going
I
to own
know.
that home. You're never going to own that
No,
car.
they don't want you to. They don't want you to.
Right. But unfortunately, my brothers and sisters who are sitting here trying to play this game are ignorant of the fact that, hey, you get out of school when you're 22 years old, you're going to get into a 30-year mortgage at 52. Whatever job you had at 22, you do not have at 52. So are you sure you could keep paying for this house? Are you sure
They,
you can
they,
handle the
they,
upkeep?
they don't care. They got their hooks in you, and that's all they care about.
And
So that's the American
unfortunately,
dream that was
and that
Yeah,
painted for everybody, right?
and
that's
yeah,
just
and
it. But it's
yeah,
not a dream for the American regular folks.
and brother, you go to my third world country,
Hmm.
every Benz you see out there,
Yeah,
every multi-million dollar home you see out there,
yeah.
cash money, no mortgages.
Well, people forget a lot of the mansions that were here weren't paid. They didn't pay retail for that. It's like that was slave labor or
Yeah,
indentured.
yeah, yeah,
It's like, or
yeah,
they did it themselves. It's just
yeah.
like no, it's like they didn't pay for that. And so people are now coming into, we consider like I guess new money, and they're trying to pay for all this stuff. It's like, yeah, but it's costing you so much more than the people who originally put it out there. All they're doing
See,
is making money off of it, and you're
see,
spending money. So it costs
see,
you time of your life. It didn't cost them anything but cash.
see, and my biggest thing though, and here's the part that's to me so unfortunate in this life of ours, to be honest with you, because in my experience, we as humans, we tend to spend almost every dollar that we have, and that's from years of working at the bank. Like I rarely
Mhm.
saw anybody with over $2,000 balance in their bank
Yeah,
account, period. Okay, and if anyone had north of that, they were special. Okay, so there's
yeah.
very few people with like a couple $100,000, and I saw a couple with seven figures, for example, but
Right, right.
that
Yeah,
was like 7 years at the bank between Scotiabank and TD Bank, for example.
yeah.
Um, and my point is, here's where I think we as a society, governments, we're all really failing people because, enrich people. Because people, like for example, when I don't know if you guys remember the recession in 08, 09, when the banks
Mhm.
and the car dealerships fucked the CEOs screwed up so badly that the governments had to bail them out because the governments has
Right.
a vested interest because of all the taxes they collect
Yes.
from these industries, right?
Right.
And the
I
governments
remember
end up
that.
giving all the money back to these CEOs that fucked up the
Mhm.
money in the first place. And
Right.
there's no follow-up as to
We'll
what they did
never
with the
forget
money.
that.
Granted, they came back, but to me, I would have given the money to every taxpayer with the condition they spend it. Not in the condition because people are habitually going to spend it anyhow.
Hmm.
That's what we do, right? So the government's
Anyway,
going to get their pound of flesh anyhow if they just make sure people are enriched. Because
Well, you got to
you,
remember, because you're in Canada too, as well, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
um,
for now,
So my thing about Canada, as far as I understand, is you guys have public health.
yes,
yes, we do.
Um, do you guys also have your equivalent to say like the getting discounts to military for housing?
We're nowhere
yes,
near the level of you guys, though.
Well, I mean, our military is the best paid in the world. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. So, I mean, you
yeah,
got
yeah. I
that.
mean, 800 billion, I would hope so.
Hey, don't be jealous. Don't hate. I mean, this is like,
Oh
this
no,
is
I'm not
why.
jealous. Oh no, I'm
So
not
I don't
jealous.
even understand why the Washington
I'm
Wizards have
not
a team. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm
So-
not jealous, bro. I'm happy for them because they're risking their lives for some stupid causes I don't quite understand. So
Right, right.
how can I be jealous of that? No.
So the reason why I ask is because like you brought up homelessness, and people in America do have problems paying their bills. Let's not
Here
get it.
too. Here too. Here too.
But you guys at least have public health. Somebody here, twists an ankle, that could make them homeless.
You're absolutely right there, but let's rewind a little bit because it's a little bit deeper than that, in my opinion, because here's where
Okay.
go to live in Canada, right?
Mm.
Um, we're like we're and a lot of the athletes will tell you this because there's a lot of athletes, especially hockey players, that don't want to come to Canada because of our taxes. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
Okay.
greatly and highly taxed in relation to what you guys are. So here's where hypothetically, Americans should be able to save more of that dollar for ankle injuries than we can.
Yes.
You see. And so because we have public health, the government taxes us nicely for that
Yes.
convenience, okay? And
Yeah.
and so and so if you have healthy people like myself who hardly uses that service, I'm like, what the fuck am I putting into that for? Okay.
Right.
But I have kids and you never know. To me, that's worth it. I have got no problem putting into that. I'd rather put into that than put into them going to war, for example. Okay.
Okay.
And so I got no problem with that. But so to answer your question, that's part of why, because the tax that you guys pay down there is relatively non-existent compared to the taxes that the government takes from us here.
So, so, so I think this touches
In
back on the
certain
whole
states, I would say.
governmental structure, right?
Put it this, yeah, put it this way, brother. If someone makes 100 grand in the U.S. and actually, Malcolm, maybe you can pull it up and check. But in
Of
Canada,
course,
if
again.
you make over 100 grand,
Yeah.
you're going to be at a almost over 50% tax rate.
Okay.
Okay. I think it goes like 26, 34, 43. But I say almost 50% because everything else you buy, depending on what province you live in,
Yeah.
other than Malcolm's, right, who only pays one tax. Everyone else pays a PST and a GST, provincial sales tax,
Yeah.
Those people up
and a
in
GST.
Yukon don't
GST
either.
stands for GST's government sales tax, right? Or
Government's,
I
yeah,
forget what GST even stands for, but
government
anyways,
sales tax.
so in my province, Manitoba, it's like 13%. Okay. Oh no, sorry,
Okay.
12% right now. 12%. It used to be 13 to drop their percentage. Woo-hoo.
Mm.
So 12%. So really, and keep in mind that most people spend every dollar they make, Walter, right? Remember that?
Right.
And so really, in reality, my 46% because I make over six figures, right?
Hmm.
Is actually 46 plus 13.
Okay.
You follow?
I get you.
And so half the fucking year that I'm working and spending getting time away from my family to make money, I'm working for the
Mm.
fucking government.
And which is one of the reasons why Americans historically have said that it is unconstitutional tax because they're saying that your labor is not your own. That a percentage of your labor belongs to the government, and unfortunately, that is the first percentage. But rather than going into whether or not we should be paying taxes, I was just merely trying to say
That
that
can't be right.
from the taxes
And
that you
content.
are paying, there are
Hold up,
things
brother.
that you are getting that we
No,
as
for
Americans
sure, for sure, for
don't
sure.
get
No, no, for
from our
sure, for sure,
employers and our
for
government.
sure, for sure, for sure. No, no, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. But I think there's a
There is.
balance though. See, because for example, if you're making money, you
Mm.
want to be in the U.S. Okay.
Okay.
If you're not making money, you want to be in Canada.
I think that's the case until you realize how much maintenance costs in the US.
Maintenance?
Maintenance.
Oh,
So
maintenance.
yeah, for example, like let's say you come down with cancer.
Oh, I
It's
see what you're
like
saying.
it's like
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right there. You're right. But then you guys do have things like optional insurances where people can buy to cover things like that,
well,
no?
not if you get caught with cancer before you get insurance.
Got it.
So the
Yeah,
whole pre-existing condition thing is something that the Democrats were trying to fight to make sure they keep that if you did have pre-existing condition that insurance companies couldn't deny you.
yeah.
So that was a big deal because a lot of people don't realize, especially people of color who don't go to the doctors often, it's like they don't realize they have an issue until they go in and try to get insurance because now they can't afford to go in, and now they can't get insurance to deal with the issue that they now have just found out that they have. And so it's a really ugly catch 22. But but it's I hate to say it, it's more institutional conditioned intimidation that keeps people from going and getting the help that they need. So it's unfortunate, but what we're going to do about it, no idea. But when you look at like what he's pulling up now, like healthcare costs, remember we never get to find out what the prices are for our healthcare things. They don't have
Yeah.
to tell us. So they can change the prices whenever they want to. The negotiations are completely and totally clandestine. We have no idea, why or when the medications are getting more expensive, and we get overcharged because we're Americans for the medications. So, and then we have our doctors who get a commission of the sales of the medication. So then they give us medications that aren't even necessarily good for us because they're making money on it. Because in America, money wins. And if you're more worried about winning than how we play the game, this is where we end up. Oh,
So it
ambulance
would
services,
appear,
thousands
yeah,
of dollars to take an ambulance ride.
yeah,
In Germany, what, it's free?
yeah. And Canada is not too bad. It's
Yeah, it's
not
like what, a couple $100.
free. Yeah, yeah. Like if I was to take the ambulance from here to the closest hospital, it's like $300. You can even take I know a guy that had to take stars. So that's the helicopter. And that was
Uh-huh.
from like Canmore to like Calgary. And that was $1,000. So it wasn't that bad, you know? Like I know
So,
this the equivalent distance in the States would have been ridiculous. And according to what I've just gleaned over this,
uh-huh.
our federal income tax is lower than the states in most
Mhm.
cases. However,
Mhm.
it's all the stuff that we like the province, so the
That
provincial
gives us
stuff, and then the healthcare and the CPP, because our CPP is a little bit different from yours.
the,
Yeah,
the
see,
minimum.
Malcolm,
And
and I pulled
Social
up this.
Security is only 1.45. Okay.
I pulled up this. I also Googled Malcolm tax rate in Canada on personal income, and
Mm-hmm.
this thing says the tax rates in Ontario range from 5.05% to 13.16% of income. And the
Uh-huh.
combined federal and provincial tax rate is between 20.05% and 53.53%.
That
Okay.
Maybe it's all the provincial
15.53
side.
sounds kind of
Yeah,
very
yes, the
strange.
combined federal and provincial tax. So that's what comes off our incomes or of our pay stubs, our checks. The
Straight
combined
away.
federal and provincial tax rates between 20.5. So punch in Google
Are you
tax rate
looking
in
at it?
Canada. Punch it
So,
in Google.
hold on,
Punch it
hold
in
on.
Google. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry. You guys go
No,
ahead and do
sorry.
that. I'll
Malcolm.
look on this side for something
Yeah,
else.
yeah. Malcolm, punch in Google tax rate in Canada on personal income and hit search for on that. And I only know this from business administration from back in the day.
That's right. Yeah, we can
But it's a math that a
destroy.
lot of people don't do. Did you punch that up here, Mel?
Yeah, yeah. It was up
Yeah.
here. And so this
Yeah.
is what's showing us here too. So
Let's see.
this is
Go back.
just provincial.
No, yeah, exactly. So go back up top. You have to add the
Okay.
provincial and the yeah. So right there.
So it looks like
So
this.
53.53%. Okay.
Mhm.
And that doesn't include the PST and GST that you pay on everything you buy, by the way.
Which they collect on everything.
Well, welcome
So
to Canada. Welcome. Free
yeah,
healthcare, free public
you
healthcare.
out in AZ they
Yeah,
only have the
yeah.
one tax, right?
What's that? And they
So,
wonder why
Or
everyone that makes money is running
so
to the
we
States.
have state and federal. We also have, of course, consumption tax as well. We have sales tax as well. Of course, I mean,
Yeah,
we have
let's
different things that we also have to pay
Google
for.
the same thing, Malcolm, for Arizona, state
So,
and
so,
federal tax.
but what I was trying to say is that when you look at just the amount someone makes and you subtract the taxes, and without taking into account the cost of everything else that's included with the stuff that's paid in the taxes. So we were talking about the ambulance
On
ride.
it on Oh,
The
hold on, brother.
minimum
On income,
ambulance,
Malcolm.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, so go ahead,
Income.
Walter.
that's right. The minimum ambulance ride here is 10 times what it is in Canada. So If you are fine and you don't need maintenance and you have money in America, you can buy all the toys. The problem is if you have a problem with life that needs to be handled by you, it's like the government, you didn't spend all the time financing it over all the time you've been working. It's like you have no insurance on that. Or if, heaven forbid, you forget to pay your insurance 1 month for something that you've had for 15 years, they
Yeah.
can go ahead and cancel your insurance.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I actually knew somebody who had one of those term insurances that had millions of dollars in it. And of course, the moment that she could not make that payment, they forgot her name and they kept
Wow.
all her
That
money.
seems
Wow.
typical.
So there are protections that you get from having a crazy, overdone bureaucracy like they do have in Canada that takes care of everything.
Yeah.
But those protections that you have to create yourself when you're in America. But Americans aren't spending the money to protect themselves the way the government or their employers would have.
Yeah.
So they spent the money on the nice fancy car or the swimming pool or trying to pay somebody to mow their lawn or trim their hedges instead of putting the money into some sort of account in which they can retire on
No,
long.
this is what I mean. That's human nature. Human nature is we live life when we have money. For sure. That's exactly what I'm talking about earlier, remember? And so the government, that's what I'm saying. The government's better
Peacefully
to give that
respond.
money because we're gonna end up spending anyways. And Malcolm, by the way, what you want to type search in Google is tax rate in USA on personal income. Now, Walter, do you guys only have federal tax on your incomes or do you have federal and state taxes
Yep,
on
we
your
have
income?
federal and state in Arizona,
And state, eh?
but
Okay.
that varies from state to state. So,
Okay.
but even the ones that don't have state taxes, they have other ways of taxing you in order to get their money. It's not like all of a sudden you don't have taxes. They just tax you in different ways, and
Yeah.
there are different things that they would call a tax. So even like for the thing that no Kamala, it was talking about, Trump was going to put some new tax on American people. It's
Yeah.
like it it will be in effect a tax, but they don't call it a tax. So he's trying to
Yeah.
get away with saying that that's not what it is. But
Okay.
but yeah, here we go. So the federal income tax rates, yeah. So we have a staggered system, which I don't know how you
Uh,
guys work, but
Ours is
for
similar.
us, it is similar. Okay, so for
Yeah.
for the first, the lower
Except
amount of money you
look at their brackets. Oh my God. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven brackets. We
yeah, I
got
think
like
they're trying to
three.
get it back down to four brackets, but
Yeah, we got like three.
yeah.
Fuck you, and fuck you harder.
Well,
Bend
well, the
over a
thing is,
little
it's
bit
like
more.
Yeah. Touch your toes.
there are
Cough.
things that we do need to pay for as a civilization,
No, for
and
sure.
what
For sure.
there's infrastructure
For
things,
sure. For sure. For sure. But
and,
again,
you know,
but again, um, it's I don't know. I'm all for helping people. But at the same time, we got to make sure we have to me make sure home is looked after. Make sure people at home or people that are put into the system are looked after.
here's the thing. I don't have a problem paying 40% tax, but if I'm
I
going to be paying 40% in my taxes, there are things I don't want to have to see. I don't want to have to worry about somebody being homeless. I don't want to have to worry about somebody showing up at my kid's school with a gun. I mean, there's just some basic shit that I think that if you're going to take all my money and pay for taxes, there are certain things I think you should have on lockdown.
preach it,
So,
brother. Preach it.
so I don't know, but as long as you're doing that, yeah, hey, take whatever money you need to make sure that happens. But if I am not safe, my kids aren't safe, my food isn't healthy, my water isn't clean, why are you
Yeah.
taking my money?
So you're stealing from me. You're killing me.
Yeah,
Type stuff.
it's like, and you're robbing me.
Like we're
Now we
yeah
feel safe.
You're robbing me.
yeah
You're hurting me.
yeah.
You're hurting my kids. It's like,
Where
I
where
mean,
do I
give me
where
high
do I,
blood pressure.
where do I sign up?
You're right, right. It's like, yeah, it just.
Wait wait. Oh no, but you're okay though. You're in that free country, aren't you?
Oh, you know what? See, here's the thing. I'm gonna say it like this. Canada is beautiful. On the four streets that don't have snow on it. Hey, I would mind hanging out in Canada, but I don't want to ski to the store, so I happen to be in America. Now, because my language capabilities are so limited, there's not a lot of the world that I'd feel comfortable, living in, on day
For
one.
sure, for sure, for sure. No, for sure. No, for sure.
The problem with English is that a lot of people who speak English think a lot like the Americans,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm not really doing much different going to other
Hey,
English speaking countries.
no, no, and also, brother, I get that. I get that because even myself, even being born in Ghana, haven't lived here for so long, there was some climatization, I guess, when I first went back there. Um, yeah, for sure. And it took me a few trips being there and getting to kind of feel my way around to the point where I feel comfortable that I
So,
could live there, that I could live there year round.
like I am hoping that I am going to be able to find a living situation that is so nice that you and I are going to find the secret for releasing the freedom that people in this world should have been enjoying for the past 100 years that somehow they have been convinced that they
Lost,
don't
yeah.
deserve.
Sir, amen.
So,
Amen.
so I think it's
Amen.
possible. I think it's affordable.
Oh my God, Malcolm, I love this nigga.
Yeah, yeah.
I told
I
you.
mean, like this is stuff that could
He
happen.
just
It's
he,
just a
he
way
just
of
spoke my
thinking.
love language right there. Thank you for that,
There you go.
Yeah,
Walter.
man.
Thank you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, for
There's
real.
next
For
to
real.
none. So
Nah,
yeah.
so,
For
so
real.
yeah, very
Because
cool with you.
I feel like I've been blessed with that life, to be honest with you, brother. And it's something even though, I'm kind of cuffed to a degree because of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Um, but I wish for everyone to experience that freedom. You know what I mean? Because and
Much tax.
No, I'm going to say something that a lot of people are probably going to be really upset with. I've had jobs in which I've made what some people consider substantial amount of money. I've had jobs in which I've made no money.
yeah.
And I will not say that the money has made me proportionate to my happiness. That's not the
No,
way it,
fuck no. No, 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 not at all.
and
No,
like I
not
said,
at
like
all.
sometimes some jobs are just soul sucking, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's-
yeah, yeah.
and
No,
I
happy.
hopefully, nobody here is in that situation, but it's
A lot of people are unfortunate because a lot of people feel like they gotta work to live instead of and they're living to work versus working to live. Is that how the saying goes? You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
like
yeah.
and some people
Yeah.
just take jobs they hate just because they feel like that's their only option. They're gonna pay the bills, and I get that. Don't get me wrong. I've been and done that, but yeah, but even to me, it just doesn't even make sense because I even take like people striking, for example. Like, why are you going on a strike? Like, find another job if you don't like where you're at. Like, move on. Like switch up. Like, seriously, seriously. Like, who are you really hurting here? Right?
Well,
Yeah, if it works out, you're lucky. If it works out, great. But your strikes are going for 6 months a year. Meanwhile, you're going to be on your mortgage, your bills, all this other stuff. Meanwhile, people are walking the strike line, right?
people do cross the picket lines,
Yeah, and so like
and,
really, like,
and
what do
work
you?
does need to be done.
Yeah, because to me, like and I guess maybe I'm a different animal that way. Like I
Yeah,
left the bank because I didn't want to be 80 years old before I started making 100 grand, right?
yeah.
And so I left because I knew, I could have asked all I wanted. It wasn't going to happen, right? I could take when I was strike pick it all I wanted. It wasn't going to happen. So guess what? I went to find what I wanted, and I did, and some.
No, I guess what I saw a lot of people who I knew who were getting in their 50s and 60s, and they're like, well, if they have their house paid off, it's not a house that they can manage to maintain after they quit working.
Oh,
Or,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, and just how many times do you have to go? I mean, I hate to say it, but when you go back and you look in Home Depot, a lot of the stuff that you see to fix up your house, that's temporary stuff. That's not meant to last a lifetime. That's going to last 5, 10 years, and you have to need to buy it
Yeah.
again.
Brother,
You're not going to have that job.
yeah, no, yeah, and yeah, here's where, yeah, no, my house is done, but I still need to clear $1,500 a month to make ends meet between the tax and the utilities and everything. All right, $1,500 a month,
Right. And so
and if
what
I'm gonna
happens when you don't
and
have that
and
income, right?
if I'm gonna rely on the freedom country here, or
Yeah.
how do I forget how you put it? This is
The
free
land of
The
land.
the
land of the free, free
The
land.
free. And
Yeah, but I
if I'm
say you
gonna
can't even fix your lips to say it. You so Canadian. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's like sending you a translator. It's all
and if I'm
right.
gonna and if I'm gonna rely on their old age security, which they keep trying to push prolong it, by the way. Actually, they have from 65 to 67 years old. They're trying to get
Mm.
69, okay, because they've been misspending that money, by the way. Um, that'd
You
be
talking
like,
about Canada or you talking about here?
yeah, Canada. They're too, I'm
Oh,
sure
Okay.
the same. They're
Canada,
they're no
we're
different. Yeah,
terrible.
yours is all spent on military spending. I'm sure that's why they're trying to get COVID to kill all your seniors.
Hey, you spend enough in military, you can kill COVID. Don't even worry about it. Like, we got you.
Amen,
And you have
amen.
incentives for that too. It's all right. Go ahead.
But it'd be like about $1,200 a month, if that. You follow, depending on how many years and how much money I put into it. So
Mhm.
that wouldn't cover my nut here. I still have to work to make ends meet.
Yeah. And that's the problem though, man. It's like I would go to some of these third world countries and we talk mad shit about them from America. It's what we call them what shithole countries and whatever
Yeah,
derogatory thing
yeah,
we
yeah,
come up
yeah,
with.
yeah.
It's like, but then unfortunately I go to some of these shithole countries and I see people sitting out in their little stoop with one tooth smile, ear to ear, happy as fuck, sitting out there doing his thing.
They would, and they'll never tell you that, will they? Because that's marketing.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, I'm like, do you know how many miserable fucks there are out here? I'm like, dude, I mean, like, yo, I'm just looking at that dude like, yo, he is fucking smiling. His
This
wife is
is
smiling. His kids are running up and down the street having a good old fucking time. And it's like over here in America, you're afraid to let your kid go to the damn store by himself. So I'm like, this is
Walter.
stupid.
Walter.
Yeah.
Malcolm and I did an episode while I was in Ghana, and I
Oh yeah, that
and
was
I'm telling you, brother.
crazy.
I've never slept so good in my life. I've never felt so much at peace. Like at night here, I usually can't even sleep. Like I get about 2, 3 hours sleep because I'm like always on guard. You know what I
It-
mean? And I mean, and some of it too is just shutting off my mind because my mind doesn't stop. Either thinking about making money or just and again, I'm a peaceful person, but I just not at total peace here. To be
so
honest, if I'm being honest,
no, no,
I'm not at my optimum peace.
I I
and,
have
and
felt
not and not because of me,
and
not because of me, but
yeah.
because I'm worried about the people I care about all around me.
Exactly, Alex. It's like I'm looking around because once you have felt peace and you have felt calm and you come back to this hostile environment and you see what everybody has to deal with, and you're like, you could do better. You don't have to deal with this. And then when you try to explain to them that hey, there's another option, they look at you like you're crazy. It's like, do you understand you're choosing this shit? It isn't just
Hello.
it's like you don't have to stay here. So it's like it's
Yeah,
okay to
yeah,
leave.
yeah.
Isn't that the
Or even
American way though?
It's like you don't owe them anything. So I'm like, it's okay to leave. So yeah, man, it's just one of these things where honestly, when I start looking at the places where I'm looking at going, and I look at the people who are trying to vote for some of these people, I'm not saying if you want to vote for Trump, you can't come hang out at my neighborhood. What I am saying is that if you're voting for
Hey,
Trump,
hey, hey,
in
hey, this
spite
is
of all
him.
of his hate,
With me, you can't come in my neighborhood. Okay, that's Walter.
I
You go
hear
to
you.
Walter's
I
neighborhood.
hear
Do
you.
not come in mine. I will
No,
fucking
it
mess you up.
depends on how
I'm
you
just
got
kidding.
to
I'm just
Trump.
kidding.
No, no, no. If
Okay.
you're like, hey, you think that a businessman can run this government better, I
He's
can
not a
ride with that.
businessman. He's not a
No, no,
businessman.
no.
All his companies have failed.
If
Okay.
they don't realize that, okay. So
Okay.
you got to meet them where they are, right? So the people who are saying that they're hanging their hat on him being a businessman, they are
Bro,
saying, hey, I
bro,
saw him on
bro,
TV and he had all
bro.
this
The
money.
dude, the dude has gone bankrupt multiple times. That's not good business.
So
Okay? And he's gonna do the same
okay,
thing to the
hold on.
country.
As an American, he's like, you have to understand that a bankruptcy for us doesn't really
It's
count
just a
that much
reset.
if you
It's just
have
a re oh,
cash.
okay, here we go. Just like people getting killed. Doesn't really count. Oh my
No,
God. What does count?
bankruptcy only counts for credit, and you only need credit if
Oh
you don't have
fuck.
cash.
Okay.
Like, if
Okay. Okay.
you have
Okay.
cash,
Okay.
what do you
So
care
let me get this.
about your
So as
credit?
long as you've owned a company or had your name on a building or a few buildings, okay, it doesn't matter if none of them are making money, but you're the ideal candidate to run the country.
Donald Trump has credit. America
Oh,
has credit.
oh, 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 wait. Donald Trump is, if I recall from his court cases, has credit because he fudged a lot of books. Sorry, but go on.
Okay, so you're bringing up specifics that are irrelevant to the fact. So the fact is he has money.
No, it is relevant.
True. No, I'm sorry. Hold on. We're at the checkout counter. I am asking, do you have money? I didn't ask you where you got it. Do you
But you
have
shouldn't ask where
money?
you got it. You should be asking where you got it
Why?
because it matters.
To
It
who?
matters to people that are ethical.
No.
So no.
What? No. No.
Really?
See, is weed legal where he is?
Yeah, weed's legal.
It's
Okay,
cannabis.
no. Okay, that
Come on now.
explains why you're saying what you're saying. I get it now. So somehow you
What do you
think
mean? What do you mean? What do you
because
mean?
you thought ethics had
What's
something
weed
to
got to do
do
with it?
with how Americans like spending their money.
What?
You are saying that an American's right to get money from somebody should be tied into some sort of ethical decision.
Well, no, no. Well, put it this way. No, well, we're talking like I think you had mentioned earlier that Trump would be make a good president because he's run some successful businesses, right? Right? And I
Well,
and I
you
Well, I
know,
think
respectfully
he said
disagree.
that's the
I
assumption of
Yeah, and
what
I
they would
respect
be
yeah,
based.
and I respectfully disagree because I'm saying Trump's businesses has actually filed bankruptcies multiple times, right?
but bankruptcy is only a sign of his unwillingness to pay certain bills. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
can get
yeah,
out of
yeah, yeah.
paying the
So,
bill,
so, what do you think is
yeah,
going to happen to your deficit that you guys are already in when he takes control?
the
Like
deficit will creep
your country
faster
already
under
owes
Trump under
China.
any other president in American history. We don't care.
Clearly,
No, no, I'm not trying to be funny here. I'm like, if you were to ask Americans what happens with the national debt, they would say they don't know. Nobody knows what happened. Like, if we owe twice as much
no,
money, we have no idea
brother.
what that would change.
Listen, I think you just nailed it on the head, and that is the American story is they don't care.
We have enough for us. Y'all need to figure it out. So
No, you don't. No, no,
like,
no, no, you don't. No, you
it's
don't have enough for
unfortunate.
you. You don't have enough for you. You
No,
guys
no,
don't.
well, the
You
reason why
don't.
you can
You
say
don't.
that
No, no,
with a clear
don't.
face is because
You
there's never
don't.
going to be enough for
You
Americans.
don't have enough for you. You don't.
There's,
Yeah,
you're
well,
right.
that's true.
You're right.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
as global warming happens, Canada will fall and we will find reasons to move up north. So don't even worry about it because
No,
y'all
no,
need
no,
more
no, no.
freedom. No, 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 no. That socialist
America
government
will
of
actually
yours
fall
needs
first.
freedom.
America will actually fall first. It's a known fact.
You think so?
Say
Florida will
what?
be underwater in a matter of years first from
You
global
guys are
warming.
going to be the new California. I can't wait.
It's true.
You guys
It's true.
already have the honeys up there. All y'all need now is to put them in bikinis, and y'all can't
Uh,
do that until it gets another 10 degrees
I don't
warmer.
know. I'll be
We'll
in Canada
wait.
by that time,
It's
brother.
okay. What's that? What, September? We good. Don't even worry about it. We'll be all right. So, no, it's unfortunate that, we do have people who do with these ideals that Trump is espousing. I don't think that if somebody were to take one piece of Trump and they were going to say, okay, this news about him isn't true. And it's like, but this over here, then I can see how some people could get there depending on what news feed they believe. Like
Yeah.
you and I, we know what we
Okay.
believe from the facts that we have seen, but we have to take into account that they don't believe that is a fact. So if you go to where what they believe, some of the shit they believe still makes them assholes. So
Yes.
now I'm like, yo, if you're still an asshole in the stuff you believe, I'm gonna agree with you. You just an asshole. Now you can't come
Mhm.
hang out where I am. But it's like if you're trying to say that you believe Trump is innocent of all the crimes that he's been, you believe that he was framed. You believe that somebody tried to shoot him and his Spidey Man reflexes saved him, so he only got hit in his Superman ear, which is bulletproof. So it's like if you have found some way to make this happen, that you believe that this guy's the second coming of Christ, hey, I might not espouse your religion, but I do believe in freedom of religion. And if this is your Messiah, hey, I have to respect that. But I am not going to shit on migrants just because he thinks it's a good idea.
No,
So I mean
no.
that's all my thing with him. Like I don't think he's a good person. I don't think
No.
we as Americans should aspire to be represented by somebody who espouses the
Boom.
things that come out of his
Boom.
mouth.
Boom. Boom. That's all I'm saying. Boom. You know what I mean? As
Yeah,
period.
but
Yeah.
shit, I mean,
Period.
yeah, you want your
And
two
and
thousand
and
dollars, I can't be mad at that.
and that being said, where are we in this fucking bullshit race?
112
So far,
to
it's
198. Right? We got them right where we want them.
Do we?
there can be always a
Well, you got to remember that those last 30 points are going to be tough. And remember, it starts off as a red wave, and normally in
it's rural that
the
vote.
early voting many times is Republican, and the absentee voting many times is more Democrat, which is why the blue wave
Um,
usually follows. The,
I'm
the,
I'm I'm really shocked at even all the states that are red here right now, to be honest with you.
uh, why
Oh,
is it? Well,
but these are
Texas, you knew was going to be
traditionally.
red. Florida, you're
And
pretty
and
sure is
and,
going to be red.
and, and
South
what's a
Carolina.
and what's a dark red? What is that? What's the difference
Uh,
between?
It's
that's
still
that's
indecision.
undecided. Is who's in the
Oh,
lead right
okay,
now?
okay, and the
Yeah.
blue and the dark blue.
Dark blue is the same thing
Yeah,
as
yeah.
the
It's
dark
just that
red,
the
and then
Democrats are leading.
yeah,
Okay,
and
so
then
so
this
so when it's
one.
dark, so when it's dark blue, it's done.
No, when it's
The
light blue, it's
assumption
supposed to be done.
is yeah,
It's
yeah.
done. Okay, and when it's light red, it's done.
Yes. So if you look at the light reds, when you look at things like Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and it's like you'll notice that the electoral votes, like here in Montana, it's only 4 votes. So for that
New
big red spot, it's only 4 votes. But go over to New York.
York is a bunch,
See, in New
28.
York, that's 28. So that's 7 Montanas right there.
Oh, okay, I
Only
see how that
thing is
works. I
the
see how that
voting is
works.
not complete, but like see
What the
68%
what the fuck is an
is
electoral
being
votes though? I never heard of
it's
that till recently. How that
it's just like
influences
Canada. So in Canada we have the electoral colleges, and in the States they have the or wait,
Electoral college. It's called the
no,
electoral college here.
you guys have the electoral colleges. We have
Yes.
no, but
the
but it's almost like
what's it?
why are we voting if this electoral college or votes or whatever get to ultimately decide?
No, well, that's how they segment out. Like, okay, there's like, so for
Points, like
Texas,
a
there's
point
20.
system, like a point
Yeah, yeah,
system.
it's just like ours though, because ours is called what is it called? It's not electoral college here. It's called the seats here. So they're counting seats as well, and so
I'm never
basically,
ever going to
man,
Texas again, ever.
well, this shouldn't shock you though. Texas
No,
is
it doesn't. No,
always,
it doesn't.
always
It
red.
doesn't. Yeah, yeah,
Always red.
yeah.
Arizona also notoriously red, but like the cities notoriously blue. It's
Yeah.
just weird, and that's pretty much in every case, even in the ones where Trump has won. Like if you look at the city, look Toledo, Columbus,
My
Daytona,
God.
they're blue, but it's all these rural freaking places that are typically voting for
Well,
um
I
Trump.
think brother Walter put it best. They just don't care.
No, they don't care,
I,
and they
I'm
just
gonna
don't know.
and I'm gonna go make another drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah, no
So,
worries.
so, so as far as the electoral college goes, what ends up happening is that we end up getting a
Uh,
certain number of votes per state.
Yeah.
It's mostly divided by population, but the smaller population votes get like slightly more, well, sometimes a lot more votes per person,
Power.
or
Yeah.
yeah, or power
Or
of
they,
vote per person. So
or wait, don't they
yeah,
need more numbers? Or no, it's a bigger percentage of the population in or something. They're trying to wait it out, and I get where the electoral colleges came from because it's the same thing in Canada. It's just a different weighting system. But the
well,
differences between your country and our country is that our country is Eastern heavy. We do not have a California to balance this out to kind of make a difference because California accounts for what 54 of your electoral college votes, kind of thing, which is insane. Like it's crazy. 54? Like, man, talk about waiting.
well, if you look at
There's
the number
40
of
in
people.
Texas, though. Yeah, I know. Like, there's 39 million people living in Cali. So, I mean, it makes a
Right.
big
I mean,
difference.
almost 1 out of every 10 Americans is in California.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, a lot
It's
of
more
people don't
than
want to
that, though.
think
Like,
about
but
that.
yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's just,
It's insane. It's crazy, though, that it's like, if you look at Cali, Cali accounts for 54. And Texas is not that much smaller. I mean, I thought Texas had like what 29,
no,
30
your
million people or something
California,
like that.
Texas, and New York are your big three.
Mm. And then what, Michigan, Pennsylvania, they come up too. Because Michigan has like, oh wow, Michigan changed color. Oh, Michigan only has 15. I didn't realize that. She just started losing in Michigan.
No,
It
so the
feels like.
dark ones should be changing colors back and forth. And so that's why they're dark.
So we'll see. Illinois is 20, is 19. Who else has a big population? Pennsylvania should be big. Pennsylvania is 19. You never really think about how many major cities are in Pennsylvania. Just like that's
Well, yeah,
the
Pittsburgh,
state of like,
Philadelphia.
yeah,
Um,
with huge pops.
See, I think that's pretty much it in Pennsylvania, unless there's something.
Well, there should be another
I mean,
one
I mean,
because
I don't think Scranton's big. Let me see. Uh,
I think there was more. Maybe it's Ohio that I'm thinking. Because what is Ohio's got Columbus, it's got Cleveland. Well, maybe there's only two there too. No, there's got to be more. I feel like there's more. Let's see.
yeah,
Ohio.
Philadelphia,
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
Cincinnati, right? And Daytona and Toledo. That's right. They have lots
All
in
right,
there.
you're all over the place. You're not. Are you in Ohio now?
Yeah, yeah. I said, oh, maybe it was Ohio that I was thinking that has way more major cities than it should. Like, you know what I mean? Because it has Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Daytona, Toledo. They're all pretty big. I thought it was for some reason. I thought it was Pennsylvania, but it's just Pittsburgh and Philly. Erie is nothing big.
No, not even close.
That's
No,
wild.
no. When you look at the top 10 cities in the country as far as population, um, you'd
Mostly in
be surprised to
California.
know there's only like not 9 cities that have over 1 million people.
What? Really?
Yeah, in all the United States, only 9 cities have over 1 million people.
So that would be what? New
Uh,
York City.
New York, LA, Chicago,
LA. Yeah.
Houston, Phoenix,
Okay. Houston. Yes.
Philadelphia, San Antonio, San Diego, Dallas, and then Jacksonville.
That's it?
Yep.
What? Miami doesn't have over 1 million people? Or is this kind of going like Miami proper and then like Miami, the GTA, whatever that is, like the greater area
no,
has
no,
like
no.
more?
This should be the city proper.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That's pretty
So,
nuts though, that the list is that small. I would have figured way more. Like Denver. Did you even mention Denver in that? No way.
oh, Denver's really not that large. Um, but Denver's number 19 at 716,000.
Would never think it would be that small. At least I didn't think so. Not even
Yeah.
Washington has that, or Seattle. Did you mention Seattle?
Seattle's one space over Denver at spot number 18, which is still smaller than San Francisco.
Hmm,
And you know what, though, to be honest with you
Francisco is
guys,
smaller than
that's
San Jose
diabolical.
and San
to, to, to,
Diego.
and to be honest with you guys, for me personally, personalities aside,
Yeah.
it would be for me just refreshing to have a female president in North America.
You know,
He was president at one point. Did you know that?
To
I
be
read
honest with
that.
you, I was actually pulling for even Hillary, for example. And to me, I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. It just
Yeah.
would be cool to switch it up from Sausage Fest.
Well, yeah, yeah.
I do think that it would be nice to have a different perspective.
Yes.
The I I do feel that America is afraid to have a female leader. And I know how it
Never
sounds.
mind. And black.
Huh?
And
Well,
black.
according to Donald Trump,
Well,
Double
he's
double
that's
black.
Indian.
not going to make
Double
her
black.
more popular.
Right?
Well, there are people here who insist that she's not black, and then
Well,
you get
even
into
better. Well, even
whole
better. I think Donald
philosophical
Trump insisted
discussion.
on it. She should have just went with it.
I'm sorry. Say again.
She should have just went with that with his supporters.
Well, I mean that's a whole argument in identity politics and how America tries to placate to different groups and how they choose to speak to different groups. I know a lot of people found it disrespectful, some of the things that the Democratic Party did and the way they tried to message towards black people. but I also found
Oh,
almost
wait.
everything the Republicans did, disrespectful in the way they talk to each other too. So, so,
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
it just seemed like the Democrats got a little bit more butthurt about everything and took everything a little bit more personally.
It's true. You know,
Probably because they care.
Well, no, when they were like, for example, when they have the debate with Trump and Biden, everyone is like, well, Biden can't finish the sentence. He's an old man. We need to get him off the stage before he hurt himself.
yeah,
And they went
yeah.
all in on just how inept he sounded, like they didn't listen to what Trump was saying. It's like, I'm like, you understand that Trump still hasn't finished the sentence. And it's like, and I understand that Biden can't find the end of his sentence, but Trump has never found the end of his sentence. So if we're going to count his inability to speak against him, why aren't we counting the inability to speak against the other dude? It's just a different speech impediment, but it's still a
Yeah.
speech impediment.
Yeah. 100%.
And then they're saying,
100%.
well, we want anybody but Biden. I'm like, okay. In my mind, of course it's going to be Kamala because she's the sitting vice president and
Absolutely.
the sitting. And like to me, it's like it's a no-brainer. It's like this
Yeah.
is you have
Yeah.
to put.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, she didn't do this and she didn't do that. And I'm like, you said anybody but Biden. They got someone from Biden's ticket who was a part of this party, who you elected in attachment with Biden, and that was enough. And now this person, now all of a sudden, you have a problem with her to the point where you're going to start calling her the C word and start talking about the people who are going to be like, no, people are controlling her and they're her pimps. I'm like, how disrespectful are you going to be without any base knowledge of the shit that's coming out of your mouth? It's just disrespect to me should be punished. And unfortunately,
Well, not just disrespect. I agree with you, Walter.
yeah.
Because I mean, yes, 100% disrespect should be punished, but I also feel like people that blatantly lie to get their way should also be punished, or at least dealt with, or at least you know, um, and this is
Held
the part I'm
accountable.
really, yeah, this is the part I'm really having a hard time with is that there's no accountability from any of his supporters. Oh, I should say that there were some that have flipped sides because of it. But there's still masses, as we can see. Like, look at the
Well,
sea of
when you
red
talk about the
here.
people who's, Bozeman, Montana, I actually played golf there once. Beautiful course, by the way. Hey, shout
Yeah.
out to
Oh,
Bozeman.
yeah.
By the way, there is nothing else there but that golf course, but it's a pretty golf course. I'll give you that. That's an area of the country called Big Sky Country. It's a very aptly
Yes.
named. You go out there and there is nothing but sky. It's a beautiful
Well,
place.
eh?
It's mountains
Now,
and beautiful sky.
you might be the
Hmm.
only person who has a tan within 50 miles, but you know what? It's a
Been
beautiful
through
place.
Montana. It's an interesting place. It is
Yeah, it's a
very,
beautiful place.
yeah, it is
Mhm.
very non-ethnic.
You mean
It's
not ethnically diverse?
this
Yes,
is true.
yeah. If you notice in there, like, yeah, that's going to be red through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
this is
Democrats will never win
North
Montana.
Dakota though.
That's just
I
never
should,
gonna
No, no,
I
this
should,
one's North Dakota though. This is
That's North
North
Dakota. I'm
Dakota.
sorry.
I
Yeah,
should, I
Fargo.
should, I should get you to
Yeah, the
send me a
Fargo. Yeah, go
snapshot.
down south. It's south. It's going to be the same. That looks
Uh,
exactly the same.
I should get you to send me a
This is
snapshot of this
right here.
map, Malcolm, so I know the
Yeah,
states to
sure.
avoid altogether.
But you gotta remember, it's like just because they're Republican doesn't mean that they're racist. The problem is
No, no,
the
no, 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 no. See, Walter, here's where you're getting twisted, brother.
yeah.
Because they're a Republican, I don't care if they're racist or not. I don't like them.
And you know what? I appreciate that answer. I'd much rather that you not like them because they're Republican, but it's like some Republicans must be okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, listen to me. Like,
Oh,
honestly, I
wow.
was a Ronald Reagan fan. Okay, here's a
Okay.
Republican.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I liked him other than his war on drugs I disagreed with. But
Yeah.
everything else, I should admire the guy. George
Okay.
Bush Sr. I
Yeah.
admired. Okay.
Okay.
So
Oh,
Senior,
senior.
yeah.
Yes.
Junior's a piece of shit. The senior I admired. Okay,
No,
I got
I get
respect for the
that. I
man.
get that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
so I'm not like just like a hating on Republicans. No, that's not the case. I'm hating on this individual. Okay, because he's an asshole. Period.
No, and truly, and that's where I guess I am. It's not. I'm gonna say it like this. I don't think Donald Trump matters. I think,
No. See, here's where, to me, even for example, you
yeah,
could have put Mitch McConnell there. You could have put fucking Mark, whatever,
Rubio.
the
Yeah.
Rubio, or even that other goofball that, um, George Santos, or whatever the idiot is that got expelled. Right?
Oh,
I'd
that
rather any of them.
dude.
I would
Wasn't
rather,
he from Florida?
or where's the bit of Mitt Romney? Where's he? You know what I mean? Like,
Old Mitts.
yeah,
Good
like
old
I would
Mitts.
rather almost anybody than this asshole.
Uh, I think, yeah, Mitt's in Massachusetts. But the here's the funny thing.
I think he is a
Until we find out as
senator.
Americans what the difference between
Hey,
Republican and Democrat is.
hold up to that thought, Walter.
Yeah.
Malcolm, that's what we should call real talk. Here's the funny thing.
Right.
Right? Right? Here's
Yes.
the funny thing. Walter said that a few times going, brother. I'm sorry. I love that.
We should totally do that here.
Right?
You
Look at
look at
that.
these places like New York and Pennsylvania and that little spot in the Northeast where a lot of people assume that's all Republican.
Yeah.
But then when they back out, it's like, no, the Republican stuff, it ends up being where there's a whole bunch of the Southeast is pretty solidly Republican. The Midwest is pretty solidly Republican. Places where you're not likely to see very many people who are non-white are going to be solidly Republican. And so that's not to say that they are bad people. It's just
No.
to say that their priorities are
No.
probably.
Yeah. No. Because there was one Republican that actually I would have actually probably voted for him rather than Kamala, and that was Kissinger, young guy. Yeah,
Kissinger,
and
right?
he spoke up loudly and proudly against Trump and all his antics, and
Yeah.
he was basically blackballed by the Republican Party for it. But
Yes.
that's a good dude I would have been fully behind, for example.
No, no, and honestly, I thought this would have been a great time for the Republican Party to reinvent itself.
100%.
And and
100%.
the fact that they chose to keep leaning with Trump
Oh my
just
God.
just let me know that, because this would have been a great time for them to reform another party in which
Exactly.
they actually took a lot of
Exactly.
the Democrats. And they're just like,
Exactly.
hey, we got this new party with
Exactly.
real Americans. And I was like, not this weird shit on the
Yeah,
left, not the
yeah,
weird shit on the right,
yeah,
but real
yeah,
Americans.
and not the Hulk Hogan. I am the real American.
Oh man, I couldn't believe this guy's
Fight
95
for
years
your
old,
rights.
trying to do the same shit he was
Yo,
doing when he was 30. I'm like,
hold on. I can't
what
rip.
are we
Hold on.
doing this? Why? Why are we doing this? I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
it's like, and to
I
be
used to be a
fair,
fan. I
he
used to be
had
a
two
fan there
shirts
too.
on and he didn't want to show nipple. So he went ahead and tried to rip one
No,
shirt and accidentally almost ripped two.
he should not have showed nothing. Those saggy baggy arms and all that shit. Oh my God.
The man is old, but you know what? He's heroes to some of these folks. And the
No.
fact that almost every time you see him on the news is because he did something illegal or his kids did something illegal or some bullshit or did some racist rant or something. It's like, yo, this is not the guy who you should still be putting on your hero messages.
Yeah, like let's be honest. Like even look at all the when I think about like all the people that really come out and speak for the Republican or for
Uh-huh.
Trump, they're all a bunch of losers as far as I'm concerned.
Not, well,
That's strong.
remember, these people have been successful in America. In America,
I don't
if you,
care. I've met a lot of successful losers. Success doesn't always. No, listen, money, like success in business or money doesn't equate to class.
I,
Okay, like sometimes you could just
you
hit it just by
obviously are not
trying.
American.
No, clearly not. I'll never be.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah. I'm
God.
just,
Okay.
I
Okay.
just,
Because yeah, because success does not equate to class. Because
are you a
class,
sports fan at all?
yeah, I'm a big sports fan.
Basketball, NBA, please.
NBA, NFL.
Okay, so NBA is one I actually think it's the easiest to point out the BS in that you can look at some of these teams and you can say this player obviously not is not the best player on this team, but they're getting all the
Yeah.
money. And
Yeah.
it's like, and you can see these other teams that they're near the salary cap, but they have no chance of beating anybody.
Yep. 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 Yep.
So where people have put value, you know, can negatively affect long-term development, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And unfortunately, where America is putting value right now in each other and in the world, many times comes down to wallets and and bank accounts. That's all they
This
can
game.
see. And so you brought up homelessness before. No, in America we don't count them. It's like we were counting billionaires. Like yo, we killing it in the billionaire category. We're killing it in the millionaire category. Why are you trying to count homeless people? That shit don't matter. So it's like that's their fault. America's all about the success. It's like you want to talk about all the scrubs, and it's like yo, it's like only people counting those people are losers.
No, you know what though? I'm all about the success, and anyone that knows me knows that. But I'm also
Yeah.
all about humanity. You know what I mean? And so not every rich person is just about themselves or the money. You know what I mean? There are some people that actually care about
And there's a
The human
large
others
beings, you
less
mean?
swath
fortunate.
of men in America who have taken that I hate to say this toxic masculinity pill, and they think that, you know what, let me go ahead and fuck the world and and let it figure out, how to deal with the aftermath. And
Yeah.
that is their idea of winning. And unfortunately, that voice is so loud right now in our discourse
You see,
that,
here's the
oh,
thing though. Here's the thing,
yeah,
Walter. Here's the
yeah.
thing. You guys can live in all the bubble that you guys live in all you want. All
Mm.
right. You, my friend, have been fortunate enough to travel outside that bubble from time to time. And you, my friend, and again, I get it. If you don't care, you don't care. Here's where to me, I guess
Yeah.
I kind of care, because it's like the whole world is laughing at your country.
I don't really trip on that phrase. I know Trump likes to use it
Really?
a lot.
Really?
Uh, Well,
Really?
well, well,
No, no,
laughing at our country. There are things to laugh at. Laughing at our country that's not specific enough. It's like, are you laughing because for some reason we decide to have the loudest, largest vehicles that have no human sense whatsoever? Are you laughing at us because we can't make a decent hamburger for less than $15 and that somehow the beef still isn't real or fresh? It is, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things we could be laughing about, but just saying that we're laughing about is because, we have military everywhere. We have no idea where our money's going, and the people don't know our education is bad, our health system is
no,
mediocre. We
no, no.
we have high
They're
mortality rate.
laughing. They're laughing at your country because of your country's evilness. Okay?
Oh,
And
that come on. It's like
okay,
obviously you didn't see Avengers
okay.
Endgame. It's just like everybody spoke English and you're welcome. So I'm just saying, it's just like, do you know how much easier it makes everything to pay with dollars? No matter where you go in the world, it's like you can speak English, pay with dollars, and you
You know
know what?
what? You know what? Do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know what? Because the CIA eliminates any country and any president that tries to do away with the US dollar. That's
For
why.
your convenience,
Yeah,
you're
that's right. Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
That's what
Thank you so
I'm
much.
saying. I'm just,
It's yeah. I forgot about that. Having to go to the
don't even
bank to
mention it.
exchange my Canadian dollars for US dollars to go to my own fucking country. I forgot about that. Thank you for that.
The exchange rate is optimal. So you're welcome. So don't even worry about it, bro. It's like, I got you. I got you.
I'd rather
So it's
not.
okay.
I'd rather not you
So,
didn't
I
in
mean,
that
so
case.
okay, it's
Yeah.
fair.
No.
It's fair. It's fair. It's like only U.S.
Um.
currency. So no, I do worry about things. I do worry about, I am curious if anybody, really following this, if they are paying attention to anything like the lack of the U.S. being backed by the petroleum dollar anymore. So that 75-year agreement has since expired. So now that we no longer have that same agreement with Saudi Arabia insurance for our
The
currency
sushi in the
now
fridge is yours too
has
if you
a
want it.
sense of volatility that we never had before. So
That's a good point.
I imagine the
And
interest
when did that
rates.
end?
I'm sorry.
How long ago? When did that end?
Oh,
That
I want
agreement,
to
you
say
know?
earlier this year. Yeah, yeah. Hold on a second.
Was it
Let
just
me
this
see.
year? I thought
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
it just ended. Uh,
Uh,
yeah. So it's called
Geez.
U.S. Petroleum Dollar.
So that
Where's
is like, how did they do that? So it
June
was an
9th.
OPEC
It was a
agreement, right?
50-year thing. It was in June 9th, 2024, gives Saudi Arabia the freedom to sell oil in various currencies. So yeah, it was the U.S. petrodollar, which has now been expired. So I'm
And
just
then
saying, it's like,
that's what linked the the dollar to the barrel, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
pretty much no matter
everything
who
was
you were,
in petroleum dollars.
if you sold oil in the world, America got paid a commission rate or a transaction rate.
Are you for
That was the
real?
US petroleum dollar.
Yeah, that's
So
so wild.
so now America no longer gets that money. And we were using that money to offset some of the missteps we may have made financially within our system. So now we no longer
May
have
have
that
made,
insurance buffer.
may have made,
I'm,
may have
I'm, I'm
made.
just saying there's a chance because it was there, like in the other pocket. You know how money gets like mixed up a little bit. So that's all that happened. It could have happened to anybody. And so now that we no longer have that other pocket, uh, it's bigger than us not having it. It's that someone else is going to get it. And if that happens, it's going to devalue the American dollar around the world and increase the value of that
Oh
other.
no, God forbid.
Hey,
Oh, God forbid.
hey. So your ass needs some freedom. You can keep it up. I'm just, I'm saying you need to stop. Okay.
My ass needs freedom from the American dollar.
Right. It's like, no, man, you need to stop. And so the question is, if that is to happen, is that something that is worth America getting violent about? That is a real thing the world needs to pay attention to. Right,
Duh, there have already in the past. Hello. Are you kidding me?
right now, America's chill. And it's like,
Really?
don't get me wrong.
Really?
It's like,
Really?
this,
Really? Really?
this
Go
is
ask
America
Gaddafi.
relaxed.
Go
Okay.
ask
It's
Gaddafi.
like
Oh,
this.
okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. All
It's
right.
like, no.
All right.
It's like,
All right.
no, this,
All right. I was gonna say go ask Gaddafi if America's chill. Okay.
I'm just
Oh,
saying right now,
Sorry. America killed him because he wanted to get rid of the
America is
US dollar.
bored. And the last thing you want them to do is have some reason to shed freedom around the globe for any reason. It's like just let them stay bored. Is all I'm saying. Just like let them put up
Are you kidding me,
a
bro? Are you
new
kidding me? Are you
what?
kidding right now?
Which part?
America's bored? Oh no, they're far for like. Do you know
Oh,
like
no. So we talking about we talking
do,
about Ukraine? Talking about Palestine? Talking about Lebanon? I mean,
either
what are you talking about?
either or like are you aware like BlackRock? You hear the company
Of course.
BlackRock?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
like they pretty much own Ukraine now, right?
Okay. So do you really think that Ukraine is anything other than an exercise for Russia and the North Koreans?
And the Americans?
Sorry.
Absolutely.
So the North Koreans have finally gotten a chance to finally shoot at somebody without starting a world war. Do you know how excited they have to be? They finally get to get dirty. It's like they've been waiting forever to show everybody how bad they are. And now they get to go kill Ukrainians. Do you know how rare it is?
Yeah. But who are the Ukrainians killing? And with what?
What do you mean?
Well,
Are you trying to say that the American armament that we sent there and the UN's armament that got sent over there is somehow responsible for anything?
yeah, it's responsible for the Ukrainians not being completely wiped out. Just like that, just like how years ago the Afghani people beat the Russian army, okay, with no military experience because the Americans sold them all the weapons, enough weapons to defeat the Russian army. Hello.
Okay. So if
Okay.
we're trying to talk about who's winning and losing, the
No,
problem
no,
with
no, 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 no. You had mentioned about how North Korea was happy to use their missiles and
yeah,
test their missiles. Do
yes.
you not think Americans were more than happy to sell Ukraine all the arms and missiles
Oh
that
no,
they
I think
have?
they're getting their stuff tested in real life combat. It's
Exactly.
going to
Hello.
increase the price of everything that's
Hello.
it's
Hello.
like no, like
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
oh yeah, no, I don't disagree with you there. It's like my thing is America has been testing its stuff for the last 20 years. They're just come out with new stuff, but Korea has had their old stuff. They haven't had no chance to test it in a real battlefield situation. So now they get to test it. They get to test their logistic networks. They get to test a whole bunch of things they didn't have a chance to do before in real time. And they can do it in a way in which they can actually shoot at people they aren't normally allowed to shoot at, and no one's going to say anything. It's like this is the best thing for the North Koreans. It also solidifies their agreements and communications with the Russians. It basically solidifies the communist alliance that may most likely include China as well. You're looking at damn near half the planet's population now, if especially if India gets involved. So so
Would
now,
India actually get involved though? They seem to never play nice with a lot of other countries.
no, India has a very amicable relationship with both Russia and America. They said that they are not choosing sides. It's like they don't think that it has to be one or the other.
Well, I don't
But you got to
know.
remember, Kamala
I
might
don't
be
know.
Indian. JD Vance's wife is Indian. So there's going to be some Indian influence in the presidency, no matter who it is. How do they feel
JD
about these?
Vance's wife is Indian?
Yeah,
Really?
No one's even asking how
yeah,
they feel about it.
JD
So
yeah.
I
No,
don't know.
her.
I'm just saying, it used to be strange to have a Russian first lady for America. That would be considered to be a weird thing or a conflict of interest, especially considering like if this was a spy movie, this would be the obvious honey trap for James Bond. It's like
Right?
what? Got some sort of Russian model who barely speaks English or does anything but look cute and get naked, and then now all of a sudden you're gonna make her the most powerful female in the free world? What? How did all of a sudden the leader of the free world is now writing love letters to Vladimir Putin and writing Kim Jong Un's jock? It's like nobody's gonna look into that. It's like, that's not a problem. It's like don't even get me started on the fact that somehow his ex-wife fell down the stairs and killed herself, and then had to be buried on his golf course.
Oh, was that what? Was that what? To
You didn't know
Ivanka?
that?
No, I didn't she
Yes,
fall down the stairs. I thought she died naturally or something.
naturally falling down the stairs at
Are
home.
you serious? I did not know
Yes.
that.
Yes, those stairs are slippery as fuck, and it's like so, just like so she died falling down the stairs. And the funny thing is, and you know what?
At least she wasn't fun hung like Epstein.
I, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Epstein signed her shoes. But you know, it's just like, but what I found was really interesting was the fact that she wrote a book after she divorced Trump, and the book had a
Oh yeah, it
very
never came
interesting
out.
title, huh?
The book had what?
A very
I thought
interesting
the book
title.
didn't
What was the
come
title?
out.
Oh no, the book that she
Oh,
wrote
it
after
did.
she divorced Trump came out. It was
Oh,
it's
okay.
called The Best Is Yet to Come.
Oh, wow.
And I
That's smart.
personally think that Trump may have taken offense to the title. And the reason why I say that is if you remember Guilfoyle, his daughter-in-law or soon-to-be daughter-in-law, went to the Republican National Convention, and she ended one of her sentences in one of her speeches with saying, "The best is yet to come," and it was met with stone cold silence from the Republican Party. And I'm sort of wondering if it had anything to do with that book. But
Hmm.
soon afterwards, he started talking shit about her in public, and then his wife dies.
It's
And
peculiar.
then they take her body and put it on his golf course.
Yeah.
So it cannot be exhumed. Interesting.
On his golf
Whoops.
course. Why would
So
they even do that?
now I'm
That's
not
just weird.
saying that he did it. I'm just saying
No,
it would
listen,
make for a
listen,
great
listen. That
movie.
OJ
no,
didn't do it.
By the
you're
way,
not saying you're not saying he did it, but
yes, correct. I am not saying he did it.
because of who he is, I think it. I wouldn't put it past him.
I'm saying that if you pull up her old or the what do you call it? In 1991, there was a documentary by featuring Donald Trump.
Yep.
And his wife at the time said that if you're good to him, then I mean, if he's happy with you, everything's good.
Oh,
And
for
if he's
sure.
not
Yeah.
happy with you, you're dead.
Yeah.
Those are the words that she used.
Yep.
So I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, hey,
No, but that's facts. That's what. Remember, I was telling. I think earlier we were talking about Rosie O'Donnell, all these little hissy fits and fights that he had picked with all these people that
yep.
like didn't compliment him or didn't like him for some reason or didn't get along with him or whatever reason, and he would let it go. He just
Yeah,
wouldn't
put
not
that
let shit
documentary
go.
link in the chat because somebody might want to see that. It's actually almost everything they said back in 1991 is exactly what you see today. There is
Really, eh?
no surprise. So yeah, you can just jump to any spot anywhere in the middle. I guarantee in 1 minute you're gonna find something that they said that's like completely accurate today.
Well, let's be
But
honest
yeah,
though. I
yeah,
think
or put on the caption so you can at least read it or something.
Trump's playbook does not change.
No,
Why would it have changed if
So
he
yeah,
can
this
get
right here,
away
when
with
he
it?
was talking about uh how he was manipulating Wall Street, talking about how well he was doing and how even then it was a lie. So he was saying all these things about how successful he was doing with these, but none of these things were true. They're saying he was losing money left and right. He just kept telling everybody he was making money. So they kept
Oh, wait,
looking.
wait, 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 wait. Did I not hear you earlier say
Yeah.
he'd be a deal president because he's a good businessman?
No, no. What I said is that people believe it. And if people
Oh, okay,
believe,
That
okay,
is
okay, fair
true.
enough. Yeah, 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 yeah.
if
Okay,
if people believe that, and that's the reason why they're going to jump on his
got it.
bandwagon,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
hey, look, this is all the press that they got. They saw him with supermodel after supermodel at all these, these special things that they couldn't afford to do. So he must be successful, right? It's like the fact that it's a lie. We're still looking at influencers now lying about what they have and what kind of things they do and what they
See,
own.
but honestly, Walter, Malcolm, I don't personally even care about that. What bothers me is how one treats others.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think.
yeah.
That's what bothers me.
I no, I don't disagree with you. I do think that the the party itself, but I don't want to blame just the party, the Democrat or Republican, even though they might have differences in ideas about who you're
Yeah,
supposed to be trying to help. For me,
yeah,
it's more along the lines of there is a group of people in America who just
yeah,
simply don't think it's necessary
yeah.
to be your brother's keeper anymore. It's all about me.
Well
Oh,
then,
I
to be
remember
honest with
that
you,
statement.
like
Am
here's
I
where
my
when
brother's keeper? Nice.
here's where for the on the debate, for example, when him and I can't remember with him and Biden, but him and Kamala Harris when they shook hands. I'm like, don't shake this nigger's hand. Fucking elbow the motherfucker. That's what elbowed right in the fucking mouth.
Yeah,
Like
yes,
But
but
seriously.
you, I
remember
mean,
but you're supposed to be the
but
one believing in peace, though, right?
you didn't
No,
exactly.
well, no,
He's
no, no.
kind of
I
a
believe in
Trump.
peace. No, no, I believe in peace. But that would be peace to give this guy what he's been giving. You follow?
I
Even
I
Gandhi
hear you. I
believed,
hear you.
even
He's
though
been
he
throwing a
was
lot of
peaceful.
shots.
But
You know what I'm saying?
then if you start throwing shots back, it becomes a street fight. And
No,
even
no,
if
no,
you
no, no,
don't
no, no.
win the
See,
street
see.
fight,
Here's where you don't know me.
okay.
My shot would end the talk. Would end all the negative talk. Okay?
I hear you, but it won't stop his detractors, right?
No,
And the
no,
thing is, it's
no,
bigger
no,
than him, right? You can't knock them all out.
no. The thing
I
is,
really can.
if you put the one that started it all in place, it all
Yeah.
goes away.
I'm a firm believer that you attack the bully, right?
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like
This is what I'm saying. And I mean, don't get me wrong. She beat his ass by words for sure. Like, like she embarrassed him on that debate stage for sure, without a
well,
doubt.
in your mind, in my mind, and for a lot of the people who watched it, yes, it was embarrassing for him. But there are some of the people who he walks on the water for, in which he can do nothing wrong. They look at him and they're like, "Oh, he absolutely killed her in that debate. She didn't answer any of the questions. She didn't," and that is what they saw. So it's so you can't be rational with everyone. That's funny. This is okay. So the art of the deal, that Trump thing of it. So Trump had a board game for those of you who are too young to remember.
Nope, I
Um,
remember.
and it was a really shitty version of Monopoly.
Yes, it was.
There was only eight
Insane.
properties. And the reason why I remember this game so much is because we used to play it in business school.
Really
And the reason why we
interesting.
played it was because it allowed you to get away with so much shady crap because the rules were written
Built
so bad
in the
that it was
game.
open to interpretation. So anything you could get anybody to agree with was fair game.
That's
And that's the
funny.
way we played it. And
That's the
so
art
it
of
was
the deal,
almost like
right?
a legal exercise when we were playing this game. So it was almost like a legal game for us, as opposed to it being just, rolling the dice and seeing who gets the more money. Like, no, for us, it was all about contract negotiation. And that's what made the game exciting for us, even if that wasn't the intent of the game. But if you look in the game, there were certain things that were done that were very hostile. Like you can force the sale of someone else's property. It's like, so obviously it's a very hostile thing, but if you do it in combination with outside investor money, what you can do is make a shit ton of money based on other people and reneging on what you said you were going to do. Stuff that Donald Trump has literally done in real life. So it's like these were the ways to win his board game. And it's like, yeah, I mean,
I gotta look that game
he's
up.
like, this is where his head's at. These rules don't apply to him. So you don't have the same kind of rules. So I'm just saying, it's
Find the
like, I
game.
mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, for sure.
Find the game. I
Oh,
have to find the
I'm sure
game.
I have a version of it laying around somewhere. I guarantee it. So yeah, it's a it's it was an interesting idea, but it was one of those things where you can't take him seriously. And I mean, not really. I mean, come on. It's like if you
And
really
even now, it's really difficult to really take him fully seriously. Like
well,
now.
I mean, he can't finish a sentence. When he does finally get some coherent thought put together, it's usually something filled with some derogatory statement about somebody. He can't just refer to someone by their name like, their parents intended. He's got to be insulting at every turn and every sentence. I'm like,
Yeah, this is yeah, and that's honestly well true for me. It's enough. You know what I mean? Yeah, I
yeah.
love the late night talk show monologues and that, but you know what? I'm tired of it. Like it's just enough. You know what I mean? Like it's just enough. Yeah, it's funny to a point where, and then it's just not funny anymore. Like it's just like this guy just needs to find a rock and crawl under it.
Well, from what I
Wow.
understand, the Saudis just gave him rights to a $500 million uh, building or the in Saudi Arabia to help with his legal fees here in the States.
Yeah, yeah.
So his naming rights, is that
Yeah,
what
I
it
believe
is?
so. Yeah, for I think a half a
So they
billion.
sold it to him or they gave
I don't think
No, he
he
just
owns
or
the
they're
he just puts
building. I
his
paying
think
name
him
he
he's
just
to.
puts
using
his
his
name on
name.
it and he gets royalties or
Or
whatever
he
happens to his
gets
name.
paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So
what he
See, isn't
does.
that kind of
This is what he
weird?
does.
Because like if you look at say like Scotiabank Saddle Dome,
okay,
Scotiabank paid the Saddle Dome to get that name.
yeah,
So like even like Intuit out in California now, that's the brand new thing that Steve Ballmer collects a check for them naming that thing. How is it that this
Yeah,
guy gets the reverse then,
because
where
he's
he
made
gets
his
the
name
naming rights?
he's made his
That's
name like a
crazy.
trademark. He's made the name like a trademark. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. I mean, like, really? In Saudi Arabia, do they really need that kind of notoriety or any sort of money or anything like
No,
that?
but
They're willing
but
to.
obviously
but they don't.
he's got some
They
pull there,
have so
obviously.
much money, what they get is Donald Trump. So
Interesting.
if they can, and Donald Trump has shown repeatedly that his interests are for sale. And so, I mean, when he's fleecing his own supporters, part of me wants to be mad, but another part of me is saying, like, you know what? At least he's finding the people who support him to pay for his dumb shit.
Yes.
Problem is they're not paying for the government to do the dumb shit. They're paying so he can make money so he can keep making the government do dumb shit that they like.
Yeah.
But it still means that we all have to pay for the dumb shit.
And to defend for his dumb shit that he's done.
Yeah.
And to
Well,
pay and to pay for the dumb shit he's done.
all right, can we see? Well, let's just check out some of these dark states
Yes.
and see how they're leaning. So let's go to Arizona.
No, no.
So Arizona's leading Trump, only
Ooh,
3,000 separate, not even.
not even.
Ooh, that's tight.
That's
Holy
why.
shit. Okay, so that right there should have him terrified. Okay, okay. All right, New Mexico. Kamala looks like she's got that pretty locked down. They haven't said it yet. Oh, we get to a lot of numbers left. 68% is in. Hold on a second. What percent is
Sure.
in for Arizona before
Arizona 50.
50?
What's
So
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty good.
what's
yeah.
what's AK? There's
AK. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
What are
Just
you
below
looking?
Arizona there.
Alaska. Alaska.
Oh
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
Alaska.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Hawaii's right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So in
yeah,
Texas,
Hawaii's going to be really
75%.
late if anybody even looks at them at all.
No, probably not because there's not many votes there.
No, there's not. I want to say they got like what, eight or something like that, or what do they have for
I
Hawaii?
didn't even think it was that high.
What it was like,
Let's see.
but it's not eight. No, but what, four? Four.
Four.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, I think three is the minimum.
Yeah, so far 75% in Texas. This is interesting though, because
Yeah,
Texas is
she's not
usually,
winning
oh,
Texas.
Austin.
You don't have to look at
We,
she's not winning Texas.
no, I know that. But
Okay, yeah.
I'm not shocked by Austin. Austin is so open. It's a different kind of
No,
city.
Austin's going to be blue.
The,
Dallas is going to be
the,
blue.
this
Houston might be blue, but that probably would be the majority of it.
despite the Beehive support and everything, Texas ain't
Ooh,
happening because
Yeah,
Beyonce's
yeah,
not
yeah. You're
Beyonce.
not getting there.
Beyonce can sing country, but she's not country.
Yeah, yeah.
no, she's not.
Oklahoma's not going to happen. Yeah, that's
This
not
is
going to happen.
crazy, Red. Holy.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find that list for you. Hold on a second. Uh,
This one,
I'll be back.
little. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Yep. What is this one? This is two. That was it. Oh, why are you looking at
Okay,
it?
so let's see
Mississippi. I'm
how
actually
they're
kind of
calling
shocked by
it.
that.
Let's see if there's any surprises here. Hold on.
Wow. Ooh, hmm.
How does
Sorry, there. 16. I'm actually
all
kind of
right,
shocked by this, and there's 93% of this is already done.
all right. So
So wait a
what I'm
second
trying
here.
to see because it's like the vast majority of states vote the same every election, and I'm trying to see if there's been any okay, so I'm going to read to you a list while you're looking at that, and you can tell me if it's been decided or not. But Alabama is, how about that one? Should be AL, I believe.
Alabama is red,
Red?
67% so far.
Okay. So, but is it solid red?
Yeah, it's solid red.
Okay. So they're saying that it pretty much always votes Republican.
Correct.
So let's see. Alaska's not in. That'll be another 3 votes. They said that usually goes Republican. Arizona goes Republican. Arkansas goes Republican. California goes Democrat.
Mhm. So
Okay.
far,
So,
it's showing.
all right. So the first one that's a question mark on this list, which is alphabetical, is Colorado. So I'm going to make a note of Colorado. All right. Connecticut, Democrat. Delaware,
Yep,
Democrat.
yep,
DC, Democrat.
yep. Which
All
is
right.
interesting.
Question
Let me
mark,
tell you.
Florida, which so far looks like it's gone to Trump.
Isn't Florida usually a Republican state, though?
Yeah,
Uh, no, Florida, it usually leans Republican, but I think it's pretty much always Republican. Georgia's Republican. I think pretty much the Southeast is pretty much Republican corner.
yeah.
Hawaii's Democrat.
Okay.
Idaho's Republican. Illinois says Democrat, but I think that Donald
Yeah.
Trump already won Illinois, did he not?
No, no. It's
Okay.
53%, and there's 81% reporting done.
Okay. Okay.
And she's up by 400,000.
Oh, well, who's up by 400,000?
Kamala.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm on a different page. I wasn't looking at your screen. Uh, so yeah, that rings closer to what they said the prediction would be. All right. Let's see. What else we got?
187, according to this.
Indiana Republican. Iowa is considered a battleground state.
Yep. And so far,
Let's.
it's fairly close. 770,000 to 600,000.
What percentage is in there?
80%.
Ooh,
And he's
that
ahead by
doesn't sound that close.
170%.
I'm sorry.
He's up by 170,000 votes.
Yeah, it sounds like he probably already won that state or damn near, but I don't know how many late votes are coming in. Kansas is Republican, Kentucky Republican, Louisiana Republican, Maine is Democrat.
Is still, oh, she's well ahead. Well, not really. She's only what that's like 12,000 votes ahead.
That's not ahead.
No.
Yeah. What about Maryland?
Maryland is right here. Oh, wow, quite a difference. 500,000 votes. That's huge. It's by quite a margin there.
And that all translates to electoral votes, right?
Which one?
So we're just looking at the seven. And I think the way this system works, or the Google system, is that right now they'll like award it like all these these darker color ones. They award the state to Trump, but then it might change colors, just like Walter was saying. It might change colors to blue as more stuff comes in. So it's at 66% reported so far. Interesting.
You only need
16.
40 more points.
That's the race to 270. See, really needs to lock down this 54
Oh, no, no, okay.
votes.
It says only 17% reporting, but if he wins California, it's over. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, trust, if he wins
Yeah.
California, it's already a wrap.
So that's a total people reporting right now, 17%.
That's what it says anyway.
In California, yeah.
Oh,
17% vote in California, 0% in Utah, and it already awarded it to Utah. So how's that even
Yeah.
make sense? Like,
Well,
how
I
does
think it's
that
more
still?
predictions. It's yeah, her winning in Utah would be really tough because I'm not sure Democrats ever win in Utah.
Mormons, they'd
Which
have
is,
to be
which is what I was
above it.
trying to tell you about that list I was reading you, is that a lot of the states don't change. They're going to vote the same they always vote. So there's only a handful of states that ever change their mind.
Swing states. Yes, you can so. Gee, so this is the NBC feed, and this is 172 to 214. So their predictions are a little bit different, and it's 55 million. So right now he's still uh, ahead in the popular vote. Right there. It's crazy. This is good. Let's see something. Let's see CNN. It'll have a different spin
Okay,
on it. I'm
I
surprised.
found something for you that might be interesting.
Yeah, what's up?
Uh, there is a there is a historic chart of how every state has voted for every election.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you're saying like, just give me a state.
Uh, California.
All right, so California has voted Democrat every year since 1988.
Every year wow, since 1988, it has not
Yep.
changed.
So
Wow.
before that, they from 68 to 88, they were a Republican, and they'd only voted Democrat once since the 50s, and they switched over to Democrats in 92, and they've been Democrat ever since.
Loyal ever since, eh? Holy
Yep.
smokes.
DC has always been Democrat.
Every year?
Idaho was only Democrat in 1964. At no other point was it ever Republican. Was it not Republican? So I'm saying like
What
there's a lot
about
of states.
New York?
Well, New York is very much Democrat and has been Democrat since 1988.
What happened in 19?
Same for Oregon. Yeah,
So
I want to know too.
that would be Ronald Reagan. No, was it?
That would
No.
have been the end of the Reagan era, I believe. Hold on.
Was that
Uh,
the start of the Bush Senior? No, I thought Bush Senior
senior,
started in.
senior
Did he?
started after Reagan.
Yeah. So would he
well,
be there
in
in 88?
88 should have been H.W. Bush.
Election? Oh, it was him already? Let's see.
Yeah, because yeah. Because remember that was the first Gulf War, right?
Yeah. 1992 was the Gulf War. I thought
But the president would have been
I thought he was
Bush.
in there in 1990. That's what I was thinking, but I could be wrong.
So he started in 88. He'd have been elected in 88.
You would have been elected in 88? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So his first year would have been 89, but yeah, he'd have been elected in 88. But yeah, that's yeah, HW. So Uh,
Boy, this is going to be an interesting race, my good man.
yeah, I mean, he
Let's see.
won. All right, there. All right, DC, Iowa. Yeah, of course, Arizona. Yep. He actually won California. There you go. Yeah, you're a Republican. You win California. It's a wrap.
89. Okay, so he started in 89. So you said California changed in 88.
Yeah.
Interesting. That
Yep.
is interesting.
So during the Bush presidency, it's like that was the one year they did it.
That is wild. And then Democrats.
Yeah. So
This
yeah, I
is kind
mean
of dominant.
Utah, like since 1964 has been Republican. Same for South
Of
Dakota.
course it has been. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
What about North Dakota?
Oklahoma is the same. North Dakota, since 1964. Well, I'm gonna put it this way. They
Wow.
only had one. Hold on. Look, the first year they started was in 1900, or the first year they started tracking on this. And since 1900, so the last 125 years, they have only voted Democrat 5 times.
That's North Dakota, right?
Yep.
Okay. Not
It's
not
like,
surprised at
and don't
all.
worry, South Dakota has only voted Democrat 3 times.
Wow.
Span.
Not
Yeah.
shocking. Not a
No, so I'm
shocker.
saying that's why we're saying it's like some of these states don't matter because they're gonna do what they do. It's like them moving is it would take a miracle, and there's no miracles being waited for this time. Kansas 5 times since 1900.
Lifetime since 1905. That's it. So
Let's see, Arizona at least had like 9 times, so that's pretty good.
All
and
the
Alaska's
how
way.
only had
recently?
once. Say again?
How recently
How recently what?
did they
Arizona
vote
go
Democrat?
Democrat?
Yeah, yeah.
They voted Democrat last time for Biden.
Well, shut up. Seriously, I did not realize that.
Yeah, they voted for Trump the first time, Biden the second time.
That's wild. I
Yeah.
wonder how they flip like that. That's impressive.
Well, they flipped. Michigan flipped.
Oh yeah,
Um,
how many times has Michigan been?
hold on a second. Let's see. Well, Michigan since 1992 has been running Democrat until Trump 2016, and then they went back to Democrat for 2020.
That's
So yeah, I
interesting.
mean, a lot of the people who are trying to say that they preferred things better under Trump ignore the fact that when they had a chance to reelect Trump, they didn't. Pennsylvania went from Trump to away from Trump.
Shocking,
Let's see,
not
Wisconsin
shocking.
went to Trump. See, yeah, Trump flipped a whole bunch of states.
I guess it's just all that bravado people must like.
Well, I mean,
It's awesome.
Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, just look where it is on the map. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, let's see, where's this other flipper?
Fox.
Michigan,
Well,
Georgia.
she's just
Wait,
getting
no,
it up, isn't
Georgia's
she?
not. Hold on.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's like I
unreal.
mean, so yeah, three or four states that were Democrat that jumped to the Republican wagon for Trump for one election and then moved right back to Democrat. But the problem is now going forward, we don't know if they're Democrat or Republican. And if he wins just those states, like he did the first time through, then chances are uh Kamala will lose.
Michigan is tight. Holy,
Hey, Michigan is one that she could win,
it's tight.
like
But it's
legitimately
like
historically.
she is down by what is that? 70,000 votes right now.
Yeah, but Michigan has what percentage in?
37%
Only
reported.
Yes, no, yeah,
37%,
yeah.
which is
Nobody's voted yet. We all right.
look, how is
Yeah,
that
Pennsylvania's
possible?
just
They
looking
are
real close
in
from being
Eastern.
done.
Oh, wait, they're tabulating the votes, I guess, at that point. 84%. Oh, wow, that's quite the win. She's over 800,000 in New York.
Yeah, he shouldn't be able to win New York. Um,
He's way up in Ohio, isn't he? Is that what I just saw? Yeah.
uh,
Wow.
what's that?
Ohio is not impressed with her. 600,000 difference. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
Pennsylvania's close. It, what does Pennsylvania usually vote?
well,
It
okay.
seems
So
like
let's check that.
it's not
So,
right, not
so
supposed to be.
Ohio has been red since Obama, and they were red before Obama. But Pennsylvania has been blue for the last 20 years, but they did decide to switch red for Trump.
Oh,
So that could go either way.
this is crazy.
Like I said before, Michigan is one of those that had been blue but did go red for Trump. So I mean, Trump has an appeal that other Republicans just did not have. So you just don't know.
Holy. And look at this. Minnesota flipped. It
But
went from
remember, he
red to
still
blue.
needs 40 more points, and 40 points isn't easy.
You know, it's the last little push, I have to say.
Yeah.
We shall see what you guys you guys end up with in the morning. This is gonna be an
Yeah,
interesting
there's still
thing.
so much to be reported, eh?
Yeah.
Some
Oh,
states.
there's so much.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, some of these are only what 64%. One of those is
Like even a
1%.
lot of the red states are showing 27%,
It's only at
Montana,
7%,
Yeah,
32,
yeah. So I mean,
32%,
but that's what you're talking
27.
about the red
27.
wave, blue wave thing. So yeah, the red's going to hit first. That always happens. So the blue's going to hit later. The question is it going to hit hard enough? Because there's still going to be more red numbers coming in.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we'll have to find out
Yep,
soon.
yep. So yeah,
Well,
I mean, there's some interesting things, but it is looking like she's going to need a lot of help from some key states real soon. So, I mean, we'll see what's out there. I don't know what the largest things are out there that's outstanding. Maybe Georgia and Arizona might be the two largest.
I'm actually kind of
Um,
shocked that Maine is only at 27%.
yeah, but how
They're
many
the
votes
first
does
to
Maine
vote.
have?
Four.
Yeah, Maine only has four. We don't care about four votes. No, we don't care about four votes. So that's 16 right there in Georgia. How many in Arizona?
And it's very close in Georgia. Only 100,000. Arizona
And
11.
11. So that's 27 points right there. All right, that's still not enough. He still needs more. So who else we got? Nevada has
Nevada
like
has no reporting yet. That's just
yeah, but they
weird
should
to me.
at least have some numbers, but that's okay.
Let's see. Maybe they have something. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's in its infancy. Yeah, estimated only 2% in so far. This
Yeah,
one's
I was just trying to
estimated
see
51%.
how many votes they had electoral
Oh
college
yeah,
vote.
you want an electoral college? I
Yeah.
gotcha. I click on here. Yep, 6. Oh, that's not many.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
I mean, six isn't going to be enough by itself. So
Whew.
yeah, I mean, it's like yeah, they're going to be fighting this out in the little minuscule states. It looks like until somebody can distance themselves somewhere large. But is there, you know what? Could you? All right,
Actually,
I'm gonna
192.
look
Yeah.
at this a little bit later and try to see if
Yeah.
there's any distance anywhere between, because there's some of these we can say like, yeah, they're not going to make up a 500,000 votes, with pretty good confidence. But
Yeah, like in Washington, I don't think he'll catch up to 500,000 votes. But I mean, like, and there's a lot of battle to go on. A lot of battle. A lot of
could you go back
battle.
to Washington real quick and just to see
Yeah,
those
for
numbers
sure.
again? So it's saying that or 60% or so, and I know it says 59, but 60% of it is in, right? 60% is
Yep.
in, and we have 2.5 million, right?
Mhm.
So if we got 2.5 million, and that's supposed to be 60%.
So you're
Then
looking at another 1.3
1.5,
million.
something like that. Sounds
right.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's like so. she would need probably another 700,000 votes to be able to seal that.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like it's not it's unlikely that he'll all of a sudden get 1.3, 1.5 million votes in his favor and her not getting one.
Right,
So I believe
that's what I'm thinking. So, I mean, something like
I think
that.
she's got it.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's
yeah. I mean,
interesting. Cool.
see, like the Dakotas, it's like I wouldn't even bother looking at the Dakotas. That's pretty much hers. Iowa, I mean his. Iowa should be his. Uh,
Wow.
Illinois should be hers, but that's
She's
looking closer than I would expect.
well, 82% is
Yeah,
in
yeah,
and
I think she
she's
should be
up by
done.
500,000. So, or
Yeah,
no,
she.
sorry, 400-ish thousand. This one, he's
Yeah,
what,
she.
500? Wow. So he might have
Indiana, she got
Indiana.
murdered in Indiana. Yeah.
Mhm. Literally. And same with Ohio. Wow.
Yep.
Ohio,
Yeah. Yeah.
600,000 votes.
Yeah.
Oh well,
And 92% is already in. Yeah. That's
that
written in.
one's a wrap.
Yeah.
That is a
So
done
I'm just
deal.
little things like that. I'm just curious at like where the wiggle's coming from, but he's not going to get any more points if he's getting more votes there. How close is Georgia, which we have reason to believe is going to be cheated on?
Mm, Georgia's very close. There's
Georgia was
only
last time.
140,000.
Georgia?
Remember, Georgia's the one that
100.
he had. He called them and asked for the extra votes,
Mhm. That's gonna be
and
interesting.
basically they ended up restaffing the Georgia committee with all Trump sycophants.
Oh
So
man,
there's
that's
reason
wild.
to believe that they might not certify the election if he doesn't win in Georgia. So,
Not surprised, not shocked.
well, we don't know what that means for us Americans, but yeah,
Means that he'd win. In that point, that'd be rough.
is
Well, gentlemen,
all right, gents.
it has been a great real talk. I love the energy. You guys are starting to crash. I get it because you guys were exuding all that power. I loved it. I loved it. Everybody, please like, subscribe, and follow. Love my man Walter. Love my buddy Alex,
Yes, yes, yes,
and
Walter.
then all the love to everybody out there.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Walter. Hope to see you more often.
Oh, my
Absolutely.
pleasure. And for
Yeah.
everybody, thanks for having me, and may you all go in peace and ha have a
Yes,
wonderful
yes.
day.
Yes, and God bless America. God bless us all.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Right on.
All right,
Take care,
guys.
everyone.
We'll talk
Cheers.
soon.
All
All
right,
right.
bye.
Cheers,
Yeah.
guys.